Guys. We're in here. We're in here. Tommy Sotomayor gets into it with Carmen Jaycee. Now, Carmen Jaycee is, I would say that she's a conservative woman. I did a little bit of research on her. I've seen like her videos come and go on YouTube. She's more of a conservative, right wing. Some people say that she's a chameleon. I don't really know, but I do know that her and Tommy get into it. I've been seeing a little clip, so I said, why not? Why not finally go live? Why not finally go live with this one? Let's jump right into this.
Me here today. I am glad that you guys are here. I know we don't normally do anything this early, and that is sad that it's called early by my standards. Oh, we had fun last night talking. I think we stayed up to like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, guys. And I'm back. I'm a little less full of Oxycontin, but I still got it. And when the Oxycontin get ready to hit, I'm gonna go get it. So just know if I just abruptly leave, it's because the pain is too much, and I'm going to get my Oxycontin. But anyway, there's a young lady, and I've been watching her. I seen her on YouTube, and then I seen her again on Instagram. And a lot of people were saying, "Hey, you guys need to talk." And I said, "Talk about what?" They said, "Well, she brings up a lot of the subjects that you bring up." And there's a lot of people who bring up these subjects. And I want it to be not only for the people who are currently doing it, but more people need to talk about it. We find a lot of things interesting to speak about, but you know what we need to talk about? Our own home. And to have a young woman talking about this and the way that she's talking about it gives me A, joy, and B, for this one-on-one, a challenge. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to bring in Miss Carmen Jaycee. Hello, dear.
Hi, how's it going? Hi, everyone.
It's going well. Have you heard, before I reached out to you, have you ever heard my name or someone say, you kind of do the stuff that Tommy does? Have you heard of me?
Well, honestly,
She's kind of cute.
before you reached out to me, because like originally when you reached out to me this time, I didn't know that you had reached out to me the first time. So
Mhm.
I was like, and this happened to me. This happens to me actually all the time, where someone will reach out to me once, and then they'll like, you know what, I'm gonna try again, and then I see it because like I literally don't see it. It's probably people that follow me, and it's like, why don't she follow me back? And I just literally don't know because I'm not a social media like person. So essentially when you reached out to me, I seen a video of yours, right? And it was this video, it was a clip of this video. And it was basically you're like I don't know what you were like, who you were talking to, but you were going and you were saying like, black people need white people to put fire up under their ass in order for them to do shit. That was the video that I seen. I'm sorry for cursing. But to
No, you
me,
fine here.
when I saw that
That
video, I
probably
have to
that
save it in my
probably
phone
warmed
because I was
Tommy's
gonna
heart.
do some content with that video.
Her saying that probably warmed Tommy's heart so much. After he gets like so much pushback all the time for the things that he says, but that probably like really touched his heart, man. Who knows? Who knows? Tommy's a wild boy.
Because I was like, this video really registered to me. So to me, that was like my first time really seeing who you were. And it was on my own account. Like it wasn't someone that told me or anything like that. It was just me seeing you. And I was like, oh, this guy, I actually had to go find out who you were because somebody else had posted this. So I wanted to like
You didn't
figure
know
out
who
who you
Tommy's
were. And that's
what?
how I had come to know you. And when you reached out to me, I was like, okay,
All right, let's get to the good
and
stuff.
yeah, so.
This-
Well, I tell you what, it's
That's cute. I think I would be doing like a fashion blog. Not even saying that I'm like I know all of history because I don't. I really don't know all of history. I'm like learning. I teach myself. I didn't graduate from college. All of the stuff that I know is because I read books or because I researched it and I learned these things. Candace Owens plays a major part in that. Candace Owens taught me a lot.
Shout
She was
out Candace
one of
Owens.
the first really popular Black Republicans. She taught me a lot. She taught me about thinking for myself. And that's what I like about her because she gives you a platform. She's not telling you what to think. She's giving you the type of way that you weren't accepted. It took for me to like really get on these platforms. And like I saw the Candace Owens too, but I think I only really realized it from experience. from getting on the platform and critiquing a black
difficult one. And the reason why I say it's been a difficult one because I was the one who started it and I was the one who gotten punished.
Yo, I keep jumping around because I want to skip the introduction stuff. Like, let's get straight to it. Let's get to what we talk about. All right. I know some of y'all are probably at work. Some of y'all are probably just up, can't sleep at night. I'm just trying to get to it. Get some interesting topics. This is my first time going live, so if it's some difficulties, just like sort of bear with me. I'm trying to do this more and more. Let's keep it going.
The most by it. I was and have been banned in several things. And it's not because I was doing something illegal. It was because I was speaking about a problem that you just said was a problem. Things I said were 100% correct. I was the first one to correct it when they would say, Black women are the most educated. Question. I proved that Black women were not the most educated. They were the most enrolled.
Yes.
Why do you think white society, along with Black society, were pushing a false narrative that Black women are the most educated in the United States?
I'm gonna give you. Oh snap!
I would say
Before she even answers, I'm gonna give you what I think. I think to keep the black family separated, to keep them separated. All right. If we just keep pushing this and then allowing, because only, I'm not gonna say only, but a large portion of women that think that they're better than their men are black women, right? So we can keep pushing this narrative and keep telling them that they're like better. Technically, they're better than their men because they're out earning or doing all of these false things that aren't even true because they're not out earning black men at all. They're not out progressing us, is what I'm trying to say. But if we make it so that they think it, then that'll be enough that they'll do the work for us. We don't even need the Ku Klux Klan anymore. All we be if we just, because so many black women are just brainwashed with nonsense and they won't take the time to just pick up a damn book or read some stats and realize that we're better together, then we would be okay. But they're not doing that, so that's why they do it. And then on top of that, a lot of people are just scared of black women. Loud, aggressive, especially now. Nobody wants to deal with that, so they just stay away. I mean, that's one of the reasons why in America, black women are the last for mate selection. They keep talking about they're going to go get a white man. I'm like, white men marry black women at a less than 1% rate. This is factual. You can look this up. Less than 1% rate what they married them at. But, so many women, you can't tell them anything. Kevin Samuels proved that.
they did that because they know that black women controls the black community. Okay, they know that these women are the people that are in control, and they know that they are what kind of what black women says goes in the black community. Like
Yeah.
if you think that black men run the community, you would be wrong. Okay, black men are not like the head of the community. So when you hear them say black women are the most educated, it's to pump black women's head up to make them feel like they're doing something when they're not. If you realize they got the most educated when the degrees didn't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, degrees don't mean what does a degree these days? The people that are getting degrees are not even able to make money sometimes, you know. So they gave them these degrees when it really didn't mean nothing anymore. If you tell me that they're the most educated, I'll tell you they're the most in debt as well. Hmm.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. They have the most student loan debt. Okay. So, yeah, be the most enrolled, which you are. You're not the most educated. Like I said, they're the most dysfunctional demographic out of any demographic of people. Okay. They
What
move
do
the
you
most
think they were
dysfunctional.
getting out of? But what do you think they were getting out of pushing that, knowing it was a lie, saying that black women are more educated than their counterpart?
Well, when I seen that these stories came up, because I did a video on this, these stories came up during election seasons every time. Okay, so they would come up. It was a story. It was a study done in 2011 that was like you just said, they're the most enrolled. So by 2012, which is second term Obama, they were telling black women that they were the most educated. They did the same thing in 2016 and again in 2020. Okay. So if you look at the articles that say that they're the most educated, you will realize that they're during election years. Okay. So they, like I said, they use black women because they want to make them feel good. They want to make them feel valued, even though they don't care about black women. They don't care about black men. They don't care about anybody. I can tell you this as just from seeing and knowing that the establishment, they don't care about black women. They don't care about trans people. They don't care about none of you people that think that they care about you. If you think that they care about you, you're just gonna get shot later. That's what's gonna happen. You will get shot later. You may not get shot now, but you will get shot later. And that's what people fail to realize. And I like for me, I think black women are the biggest problem because you can't correct them. You don't listen. Okay. If you're correctable, I'll be like, okay, well, maybe, but you can't. You can't tell them anything. I'm a black woman, okay? And I know. Okay, I know.
Well, that's what I
I
was
don't
going
have
to
any
ask.
friends.
This is true.
I was going to ask, as a black woman, you're saying these things. What have been some of the responses to?
Before she even gets into it, this is true. It is very difficult to tell an American black woman anything. Now, the reason why I preface it by saying American is because I have been out of the country, but I haven't been out of the country and dealt with enough black women enough to say what I'm saying about American black women. And again, I understand not all, but damn it, it's a lot of them. It's enough to make this generalization. Is what I'm trying to say. It's very difficult trying to talk to a black lady if you are not complimenting them or blowing smoke up their ass. It's very difficult.
A black woman, I know me as a man, I would hear all of us men, we hear that we're sellout. They got a new one with tethers. Somebody even asked you in your comment section, they wanted to know where you were from, so they were checking your lineage. They wanted to know if you were American or not, and it was in your own comment section. That was odd, but I knew it was one of those. What do you call them? FBAs. They show up now all the time. But we hear we're gay, we're broke, and we couldn't afford the women. But I want to know, what do they say to the women? What are some of the things that they say about
Well,
y'all if y'all are
they
talking about yourself?
they say the same thing. Self-hating, you can add that to the list, and bad wench. You can add that to they think I like white men because I say these things, and I typically don't like white men. I typically go for black men. I'm attracted to black men. That's just me. But they call me every name in the book. The tether, I had to look it up to figure out what it meant. Okay, because I didn't
I don't even know what tether means. We got an ad
know
coming
what
up
it
here.
means.
Okay.
And quite frankly, my family have been in this country for years and years and years and years and years. And when I say years, I mean hundreds of years. Okay, hundreds of years, not 10 years. Even it's white people that haven't been here as long as me. Okay, as long as my lineage has been here. It's white people that have not been here as long as me. So I don't know what you want me to do. I'm just calling out bullshit. Okay? I'm calling out bullshit. I've been around nigga shit long enough to understand what it is. And that's what it is.
Facts.
Why is it that they don't believe? And ladies and gentlemen, we're with Miss Carmen Jaycee. Make sure you go look her up, YouTube, find her there, and also all of the links for every Instagram and Twitter will be in the description box as well. I did not even ask that question. I'm always afraid to ask that question because I hate it that some women say you cannot ask that question, but I'll ask because a lot of people have asked. How old are you?
35.
Oh, she doesn't look
See,
it.
I figured you might be in your 20s.
Yeah, she looks very
Black
young.
don't crack, girl. Black don't
Most
crack
people think
unless it's on
so. Most
crack.
people think so. I'm totally okay with where I am because, like, when I was in my 20s, I was a little bit more ignorant. Now that I'm 35, and this is why I don't give women excuses because I've been where you are. Like, I've done it. Like, listen, if you guys see some half-naked photos of me on the internet from when I was in my 20s, mind your business, okay? Mind your business because, yeah, I lived my life when I was in my 20s, okay? So, yeah, I don't know what to say
They
about that.
just
Mind your
have.
business.
They just have,
But,
though. Just have.
but it's like, hey, I'm 35 now and I understand a lot more things. My brain is fully developed,
Yo, so this okay,
so
so if
yeah.
she just said if you see some half naked pictures of her when she was in her 20s, to mind your business. This is what a lot of men have been saying. When a lot of ladies in their because she's not married, a lot of women will go around in their best years and just be wilding out. and then they start to get more conservative and start to really like try to placate to the emotions of a man once they hit their 30s and once like the attention starts slowing down. But again, she, I don't know if this is her case because she looks so young. I don't really know, but just something to think about. Something to think about. Like, what was the aha moment for her to start thinking like, all right, let me, like, this isn't working anymore. This isn't working anymore. I need a husband. I need a man.
It's like I don't know, but yeah,
Well, I tell you what. There was a few things that I've seen, and when we're talking about that's why I said the title of the show, the black family and the black woman on trial. I don't know how you feel, but I'm going to ask you a question. There's a thing that has come out, and I've been, and people know I was on the forefront. Some people are upset. They were saying, "How you didn't name me as one of your influences?" I'm not hurt. I'm just sad, not hurt. But I would say there's this thing, and I've been talking about it for years. What you see on your screen there is weed. And everybody know me and Mr. Say Hair-Hatted Hooligan or talking about weaves and whatnot.
I just want to read this real quick for those of you who can't like read. So Tommy pulled up. It's just a picture of like the lace front wigs on a mannequin, and it says update research reveals 169 cancer-linked chemicals in braiding and synthetic hair being sold to black women. Now, mind you, black men have said over and over again, don't wear weave. Don't wear weave. Just wear your regular hair. And women come back, instead of doing a little bit of work, they will come back and say, well, it's a protective style. We have to wear braids and then put this weave in to protect our real hair. I'm like, protect your real hair from what? The sun? From the wind? From like, what are you protected from? And then the women of old, they didn't have weaves. They wore their natural thick ass hair. But again, the type of women that we have nowadays, they're a little bit more lazy. They're not going to listen to a man. They're not going to put in that extra work, but they'll put in that extra work to go get a BBL. They'll put in that extra work to go get a Beyonce concert ticket. They'll put in that extra work to go buy some stupid stuff that they don't need. Girls trips and whatnot. But they won't do one simple thing that men ask them to do. Sorry about my voice. I'm getting over a cold. They won't do one simple thing that men ask them to do, which is not wear weave and those stupid ass Batman eyelashes.
Not. But I was told that the reason I'm talking about it is because I can't afford it, I'm gay, all kinds of reasons. Again, we give reasons for truth being told. Well, there's a study that came out last week. And as you can see, the study researched 169 cancer-linked chemicals in braids and synthetic hair being sold specifically to black women. Now, black women love to tell me that white women wear weaves too. I kept telling them I dated white women. I never seen any one of them's hair detached from their head. I'd never seen it.
Neither have
When
I.
you see a white woman at the Oscars, she's at the Oscars. I've never seen a white woman work. Today, when I had to go get my knee drained, I almost took out my phone and asked those white. I was going to just pan around and show the people. All of the white people had their own hair. 80% of the black women that were in there had on a wig. I ask you, did you see this? And if you saw it, do you think something should be done by black women to counteract this? Do you think that this should scare them out of wearing the weave?
okay, so I actually did see this. I didn't look into this. I think I like scrolled past it, so I did see this, but I knew this already before even seeing this. I knew the effects of synthetic hair that is being sold to black women. Black women are the biggest consumer of these weaves, regardless of what they say. They consume it the most. And to take it a step further, if you even think about like human hair, right? Think of this because this is saying synthetic hair, but think about human hair. You have cultures that shed bad energy, bad luck with their human hair. So they cut their hair to cut away badness and you put it in your hair. So like I totally agree I totally agree that this is something that Black women need to pay more attention, myself included. You know what I'm saying? Because I wear weaves, I wear wigs. I don't necessarily wear synthetic weaves, but I do wear weaves, you know? And I myself, I know this, right? So, like, even myself knowing this, I'm like, okay, so I really want to get my hair to be healthier. So, like, as I do wear weaves, I try to take care of my hair under it so I don't have to wear weaves. So I can, like, wear my natural hair because, like, growing up as a kid, my mom always just didn't maintain my hair. She didn't care about it. I was raised by a single mom, not to throw shade at my mom. I'm just saying like they permed my hair, they did all this stuff to my hair that I had no idea what was going on. No, they had no say into it. So now as an adult, I don't know how to maintain my hair without doing the things that they taught me to do. You know what I mean?
And that's messed up because a lot of children, well, a lot of little girls, black little girls, go through this. Like their mother treats them as an accessory and starts doing all of this crazy stuff to their hair. I've seen little kids, not even 9 years old yet, have weave in their hair. I'm like, why would you do this to a little child? What happened to just barrettes? Give her two puff balls and send her off to school. Why would you put weave in a little girl's hair? Like it. Why would you perm it? Why would you do all of this nonsense? You shouldn't do anything to it. Put it in a nice little style and send her off to school. These ladies be killing me, man, doing this nonsense. Straight ridiculous.
So yeah, I think that this is something Black women should totally look at. And not only that, it's like if you're going to wear weaves, make sure they're safe and make sure you're consuming it from yourselves. Okay. If that's what you plan to do, don't make some Koreans or some Chinese people rich. Why not sell it to yourselves? That's my thing. Like because I'm like one of them people that I don't care what people do with their body. Like, but outside of abortion, I don't care what you do with your body. Like if you're an adult, do what you want to do. I don't care. But I do think that it is gaslighting to act like there is nothing to the weave and to think that like the system wouldn't poison you in your hair. Like I'm not for the system at all. I'm not for any of the I don't even know what word I want to use, but I'm not the type of person that's going to act like something is not an issue, even though it's an issue. I can acknowledge an issue and acknowledge, like, you know what I mean? Like even myself indulge in this issue. Doesn't mean it's not an issue. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, why is that so difficult though? Because I even heard you say something. I'd love to go back to that. Because you said not to throw shade at my mom. And if you notice, that's one of the big things that blacks will do to you when you do the type of content that I do, and others have done it subsequent as well as you. They'll say you don't like your mother. They will personalize the argument because they know if you say something about my mom, well, I'm gonna back off of all criticism. Like I will call a girl I'm dating a hoe for being with me and another dude, but I won't call my mom a hoe when all my brothers and sisters are by different men. It don't matter what she did, she ain't no hoe. My mom could literally be selling cat right now on the corner. If you call her a hoe, I will fight you over this woman while she over there taking money for giving head.
I mean, well, this goes back to like you don't say anything against the black woman. After the feminist movement happened along and all these women kicked their men out of the household, then this is what you get. This is what you get. You get a bunch of children raised by women, and of course they're gonna teach them. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm here for you. I'm all you have. And then they brainwash their kids. I'm here for you. I'm all you have. You know. So children grow up thinking mama is the most precious thing in the world. I'll never say anything bad against her. Yeah, she's messed up, but I'm not gonna say anything bad against her.
This is the weird part, but we will, and this is the one thing I had to make sure I stopped doing. That I didn't jump on the internet and criticize everybody else's family, everybody else's mama, everybody else's son. But when it came to my mama, my daughter, my son, my cousin, anybody in my family, I had excuses for it. If we want people to do better, then we should be able to do what you stated, which is, hell, I might still want, I do some things and I know they might not be looked upon as good. I might not look upon him and I say, hey, look, but I know it's wrong because I grew up in an era where the guy would walk outside and he'd have a bottle and he'd have it wrapped around in some, what did you call that? Like a paper bag. And he'd be drinking. And he'd say, yeah, I don't want to drink like I'm drinking. And then he'd still be drinking. He understood he was an alcoholic and he also understood it was wrong. We used to be able to do that. Now we believe for some odd reason, I think, and it's not an odd reason, I think it's because of the single motherhood, but we'll get to that in a second, that we think that everything that we do, we'll make an excuse for it. So I will go back to you. And in that study, it stated that another really bad thing was the human hair. Because you have to understand with the human hair, they have to do something to keep it from dying on your head.
In order to keep it from dying on your head, they have to lace it with all these chemicals
out of the scalp, and it is no longer getting the nutrients to stay alive. So it's dead. So they have to do something to stop it from just immediately just rotting. And the things that they put in it, most people, like when y'all see those people hot and iron, and when you're doing that, they said that's what brings out the carcinogen. Damn it, y'all! I fuck up this word so much. Carcinogen, the things that come out of cigarettes. It burns when you burn it. They come out.
What's that? What is that word?
It's like
is it
people?
Now you got me messing it up. Is it carcinogens? To put it in the chat if you know what it is.
They said the heat, and then the last part was the scalp is one of the easiest places for things to get inside of your skin. And if you notice that a lot of people that wear these weaves and wigs, especially when they use the glue and stuff, their skin breaks out. So when it's a thing, I always wondered, yes, you may do it, and you may know some people who do it. But when you hear the word cancer,
I'm stopping
does that
immediately.
Not make you think, if I'm asking people to be proud to be black, why wouldn't looking black be one of the first things that we can do? Because black men don't walk around trying to look like white guys.
Facts.
You as a person who wears it, what is the biggest reason, if you could ask, or if you could answer, what is the biggest reason why you wear it?
Lazy.
So I would say the biggest reason why I wear it personally is because I can't maintain my natural hair. I don't know how to maintain it. And
come on, man.
So
Look,
because
hold on. Come on, man. I get so sick and tired of it. That's laziness. How are you 35 years old and you don't know how to maintain your hair? But you have black dudes all the time. But the black guys with long hair, they don't walk around with weave in. How is it that they know how to maintain their hair? But y'all don't? And y'all are ladies and y'all play with y'all hair all the time and you haven't figured out how to maintain it yet? Like, it's laziness. That's, for me, it's just laziness.
To maintain it, like what I just do is like what most women do is just braid it down and try to take care of it that way. So that's why I wear it. Like I said, I don't know how to do hair, especially black people hair, like my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to do it, but it's not like it's not like coming from a place of I hate myself like type thing.
Coming from a place of laziness.
From a place like because I want to wear my hair. That's the point. Like I am doing things so I can wear my natural hair. You know what I mean? I'm working towards that. So for me personally, it's because I just don't know how to maintain it. And then I have to go to stylists to get them to maintain it. The same, like I just do my hair by myself the whole, like anytime I have my hair done, I've done it myself. So yeah, I have to go to stylists so they can maintain it. And yeah, that's literally the reason why I don't, me personally. And I know all of this stuff. Like I said, I'm not ignorant to any of this. I'm not ignorant to the chemicals that they say that is in the hair. I'm not ignorant to even with, like I said, the human hair. I'm not ignorant to any of it. So yeah.
And see, that's why I was saying that long ass soliloquy prior to it, is because I was trying to tiptoe away and still be as direct as possible. We will tell people, well, girl, you shouldn't be out here doing this. What if her answer is, well, I don't know how to do anything else but shake my ass? You would respond to this person and say, I know you know how to do other things than doing that, and the internet is free.
Yes.
Whenever I hear people say, I don't know how to do my hair, I'm like, I guarantee you didn't know how to do your taxes. I guarantee you, you didn't know how to do your own shopping.
You find a way.
I guarantee you, you didn't know how to do a lot of things that you now do: construction, painting, things around the house, even what we do right now, the internet. We saw someone doing it when we used to be a person who consumed it, but not a person who made the content. We decided one day we wanted to make the content. And you know what we did? Get so good that we could make content like that, when at first it took us a long time to edit and do a whole lot of things. Typically, when I talk about black women, is I'll talk to a black man and I'll catch the black man and he'll be like, you got me.
Yep.
I'm just lazy.
Yes.
The women will say, kind of like what you did, which is, well, I don't know how to do it.
Every excuse.
When YouTube, where we are, has thousands of black women who will tell you how to do it.
This woman is saying the hair that she grew up with, right? That her mother used to do her hair for her. That she doesn't, she she can't figure out how to do one style. You haven't your big 35-year-old grown self, you can't figure out how to do 4 or 5 hairstyles in order to protect your hair. You can't do, but you figured out how to work a camera. You figured out how to edit. You figured out how to make thumbnails. You figured out how to make a YouTube channel. And not only make a YouTube channel, but grow that YouTube channel. You figured out how to do all these things, but you can't figure out how to do your hair? Nah, man, it's laziness. It's absolute laziness.
So I'd ask, why do you think women's first thing about when they get caught isn't, you got me? It's typically a passing the buck or making it more difficult than it is.
Because they have to be right.
Well, to me, I wouldn't say it's passing the buck because, like I said, like I literally don't know how to do it, and I am a very resourceful person, so I know that you can go to YouTube. I built my whole studio here, so myself. I laid flooring, did the walls, built all of my furniture, everything I needed to build, I built it myself. So I'm not one of those people that it's like, oh, I can do it. But what I tell you, when it comes to my hair, I definitely go online to figure out how to get my hair to a point where I can maintain it, right? So I do use the tricks and tools online, but it's just a process when it comes to hair. Like I cut my hair completely off, like bald, like 2 years ago. You know, I just cut it all off. I'm like, I'm gonna start over. We're gonna figure this out with my hair. And I did that because, like I said, I did that because I do want to know how to maintain your hair. Yes, a wig, wearing extensions, it is convenient, right? You can have it done already. You don't have to get up and do too much to it. It's already kind of ready to go. And yeah,
Yes,
it's convenient.
BZ888,
But
they're
like
all
if
lazy.
I could maintain my real hair and wear it
Majority of them.
how I have it and have it look good, because I'm not just trying to wear it. I do want it to look nice. Like I'm not just trying to say like, okay, I can, because I cut my hair today and
When she said, I'm glad she said that. When she says that she wants it to look nice, what she's saying is she wants it to look nice how a white woman's hair looks. Because I've seen, look at her hair. It's straight right now. Why can't you just put it in a nice little fro? A nice little curly fro. That still looks nice. Put a little scarf on it. Couple little barrettes, well, not barrettes, but adult barrettes, some little jewels or something. There are plenty of ways but she wants it, her, just like a lot of other black women, they want to look like white women. But then they will swear up and down that black men are the ones that are so in love with white women and everything. But I'm like, who's trying to look more like the white people? Is it the men or is it the women? Just something to think about. Hey, if you're still here, just hit that subscribe button for me real quick. Hit that like. We're going to keep on rocking out.
wear it and it'd be my real hair. But do I want to fade? You know what I mean? I want my hair to look nice. I want it to be healthy. So, like, for me, it's not like, because there's a lot of women that under their wig, they have hair. It's a lot of women have hair under their wig. They're not just bald. And even me, I'm not just bald, but I would like to be able to maintain it better. So, like, I do go to YouTube and find women that are telling you how to do this and how to do that with your hair. But like I said, it's a time thing. Like I said, I cut my hair off like 2 years ago, completely bald. I shaved it. I had like little patches in it because I don't know how to shave hair. So yeah, like I don't know. Like I'm not one of them people that's going to say like, I'm denying that I wear weaves or that I wear this hairstyle and that this is something that is traditionally looked at to be a aesthetic for white people. I'm not sitting here denying that is a thing, but I don't like afros. I don't.
There it
Okay?
is.
I just don't like afros. Okay? They don't cute on me. Okay? I'm not cute in an afro. That is it.
But I see, like, when people say that, and I understand that. But the second way to that is this person says, I got a fat ass. I don't like covering it. It is easier for me to get a guy to like me because my ass is out than if it's covered.
I think what's
It's
different.
easier for me to get
I
attention.
think it's different.
It's easier for
I
me to
think
get
it's
clicked.
different. I think that's totally
Right?
different because to have your ass out, see, that is different than to just choose not to wear your hair. You can say like
Well,
it
how
has an
so?
identity thing, but if to have your ass out, that says something about like your character now. That says something about your values and how you carry yourself as a person. I don't think like wearing your hair with weave says something about what you value. Like you're not gonna look at that person like she's wearing a weave, so she must value this. Like, but if you wearing your ass out, you can look at that person and say, well, she got her ass out, so she must be okay with certain things. You know what I mean? You can't really do that with hair.
But you can.
You can. You
You might not
absolutely
like
can.
it, but the person can. I think that when a person says, I don't look good with an afro, I look better with a style that does not fit my face or my community or my race. To me, that would sound like an individual who does not like, which that hair grows out of their head, themselves.
Well, do you have to go for the traditional black look? What if I just like my hair better straight? Can I just say
No,
like I like my
no,
hair
hold
better
on.
straight?
But hold on. But even when you say this, the person can make a judgment of why you think that. See, it's not fair. Again, I try to talk in a fair way. If I'm going to tell somebody this body of yours, you should cover it, because here's what I've noticed, and I'm a man, and it is unfair.
What's going on here?
There are girls when I worked in the office who had small tits, and they wore really small shirts, and no one cared. Do you know why? Because their breasts were small. But there was another girl who worked at my same job who wore a turtleneck shirt, but she had really big breasts. And the women at the job complained about how she was dressed. She was fully covered, though.
Yeah, I
So,
agree with that.
so apparently, though, it was still offensive the way she was dressed, but not the woman with the little breasts. Same with a big ass. We've seen
Uh,
girls with no ass wear the exact same outfit as the one who had one. The
But
girl with
I
the
no,
ass
I
got
I
in
think
trouble.
like I think it becomes like okay to me, right? The things that I care to talk about, the things that I care to express myself about, like I don't care what people do with their hair. Like that is that's a non-issue for me. That is like a personal decision. So if you decide that you want to wear wigs all day, you can wear wigs. You decide that you want to not wear wigs, you can not wear wigs. Like I said, even when it comes to transgenderism, if you're 18 and older and you decide that you want to cut your you know what off and invert it and make a vagina, I don't care what adults do. I do not care what adults do. What I do care about is things that is harmful to people around you. Okay? Come dressing like a slut, it's not kind of good for
Was it harmful to
children.
people?
I think it's not good for children. I think the over sexualization, even when it comes to men, right? Even when it comes to men, it's not good. Okay. It causes men to behave in a manner that is where they tend to over sexualize, tend to be weakened by these things. I just don't think it's good for men, me personally. Same thing with
I will
porn.
do, but I will counter that. I have little girls. Well, they're not little anymore. They grown.
Okay.
The girl saw her mother wearing a blonde wig, and the little girl at school blonde. She came home crying one day, 6 years
Mhm.
old. She wanted hair like the white girl at school. I said, why? Your hair's beautiful. She said, Mama's hair ain't like this.
Exactly. Let me stop it real quick. And this is what so many this is why you see so many young ladies wearing weaves right now. Because after the feminism movement, when the majority of the children are being raised by mothers that have no leadership from a man, no guidance from a man because they could not keep a man, or they chose a bad man to mate with, a pookie, as Kevin Samuels would say, and then that pookie ran off and left. Either way, there's no man right there. So these women, because of their own insecurities, they do all of these things, BBLs, all of these different stupid ass surgeries or whatever, getting younger and younger and younger, doing all of these major surgeries. And then the young girls come up seeing that, and then they want to do it. So the insecurity just keeps on going. It's like a rabbit hole. It's gonna keep on going from one generation to the next. It went from the grandma to the mom to the daughter, and then it's gonna keep on going because these women don't have enough sense to say, you know what, I'm fine just the way I am. I don't need 2 pounds of fake gelatin stuffed in my butt. I don't need to have 7 pounds of weave on my head to make it look like I have long hair. And then the weave doesn't even look good majority of the time.
So when you say it doesn't affect the children, oh, but it does. There is a reason why young black girls are asking for perms and wigs at younger and younger ages.
Boom.
Because why would you want to wear or ever feel comfortable in your natural hair when you see the adults won't wear theirs?
Facts.
Why would you ever feel comfortable being a black girl? Because remember, the good thing about us being black boys, we want to do what other boys do that are black.
Yep.
Matter of fact, white
you
kids
talk about,
that hang out. Oh, go ahead.
but when you talk about being black, right? So a part of being black is wearing weaves. Okay. So like when you think
It
about
is?
the
No, it
braids,
is not.
think about braids.
No, it is
When
not.
you wear braids, they're usually weaves. That is a big part of black.
No, it is not. No, it is not. Being a part of being, it might be no, I can't even give her that. It's not a, wearing weave is not a part of being black. It's not. Women have adopted this ideology that is part of the culture and is not a part of the culture, because if it were, then you would see men wearing weaves, but you do not see men wearing weaves. What she just said is just a bold-faced lie, and she's doing what a lot of women try to do. Instead of just saying, you know what, Tommy, you're right. She's trying to pick and choose, not pick and choose, but she's trying to not be wrong and trying to moonwalk through a minefield in order to be right on this situation. She's wrong. Weave is not a part of black culture or whatever she's trying to say. No, it's not. They're trying to make it a part of it, and it's not working.
Black culture. Okay. Braids comes with you wearing weaves. So a big part of black culture. So I think that if your kids are going to a school and there is a lot of people that look a certain type of way, they're automatically what they're noticing is not the weave. They're noticing the difference. They're noticing that there is a difference between this person and myself, which is just a black and white thing. Like, hey, this person is white, she looks like this. And that's when you have to have a conversation with your kid to like, hey, you're black, you're not white, your hair doesn't grow like that, you're beautiful how you are. Okay? That's when you have a conversation with your kid. But I think that like I said, people can do physically. People, you want to get your boobs done, get your boobs done. You want to get your ass done, get your ass done. I don't care what people do with their bodies. I'm not here to be the body police. I'm not here to be the hair police. I don't care. Okay. I can tell you the facts about your hair. I can tell you, like, hey, you might get cancer, but I'm not here to stress myself out and make a platform about Black women's hair. You know, obviously black women are very sensitive about their hair. I am not. I don't care if people like how I wear my hair or not, because it is what it is, you know. But black women tend to be sensitive about their hair. They tend to like wearing blonde wigs, and they tend to like wearing purple and pink wigs. Yeah, that's what they choose to do. I'm not this that's
They do that because they want to be like white. They see a lot of black women see white women as better or as the epitome of beauty. Because why else would they try to do so many things to look like them? They wear the blue color contacts, green color contacts, all these different color eye color contacts instead of just wearing your natural brown. All these different color hairs, pink, red, green, all this nonsense. That's not for us. That is not for us. But because y'all have so many insecurities, because your father wasn't there to let you know that you were beautiful, and your mother had the same insecurity. You know, I already said, I'm not going to keep on going with it. But yes, I think it's BZ888. You are right. He said traditionally, y'all can see it. Braids, that is a part of the culture. Not none of this weave or whatever. You don't see them over there in Africa wearing lace fronts. I'm just come out and say it.
That's not my critique of Black women. My critique of Black women is how they're raising their children. Okay? How they're, if you allow your children to wear a blonde wig, then that is your problem. That is something that is wrong with you and your parenting. As an adult, if your child decides to wear a blonde wig, that is their choice. And that is, like I said, back to your parenting. Like you're not gonna me personally, you're probably not going to ever see me in a bleach blonde wig. Okay. You see me, I'm going to look like a normal person. You know, I like my little bobs. You know, I like to look pretty normal. I'm not in this trying to look like some freaking Instagram model or something like that with the 30-inch wig all the way to my butt or all the way to my knees as they do it these days. I'm not here for that, you know? So to me, like when I think about issues in the Black community, yes, I do think there is an identity issue when it comes to being yourself and dressing as yourself naturally. Like some girls can't not wear makeup, some girls can't ever not wear their hair. I understand that is an issue, but it's just not an issue for me that I feel like it's one that should be focused on. Just me personally. I just don't think it's a big issue.
Yeah, no, cool. I always look at things. I say, well, if we're dealing with children, like, because I could cuss and do porn and raise great children. They could know it and know the difference. As a matter of fact, I grew up in a household where all I heard was cussing, and I knew not to cuss around adults. Yet I knew how to cuss very easily. I saw people who did drugs and sold drugs. I never did a drug or sold a drug till I got grown. But I knew how to do those things because I saw those things. And if we talk about any other thing that people get to see as children, that adult could say, well, I don't let my child do it. When they get to be 18, they can do what they want. But typically, as the Bible stated, you raise them and you train them in the right way so they'll come back to it. So it doesn't matter if it's hair, food, cleaning up, no matter what it is, kids learn it from watching it, repeating it. So when they become adults, it's the easiest thing for them to do.
Yes.
Bitches and hoes. Why do so many people from my generation use the word bitch and hoe? The music, the language was bitch and hoe to where bitch wasn't even an insult. Nigga is not an insult. Now you got young girls who refer to each other as bro. Bro every 5 seconds. Now we could turn around and say, that's not a big deal. It's just a word. Most of the things that I believe that we talk about online, if we were just being real, is not a big deal. It's what we believe they're a big deal or we believe you should take them seriously. And so I have to deal with, and I guess I've always done that. Somebody's going to ask me something about something that they're going to say, well, what do you think about that? And I can do what you did earlier, which was say, that's my cross to bear, but I understand exactly why you think it's a problem, because technically it is. It's my cross to bear because I like wearing donuts on top of my head, but I'm grown and I don't think donuts are a problem. But I also just told you that you wearing donuts around your waist is a problem. So how can I say my donuts on my head is less important than a donut around your waist when we both can use the excuse of we're grown and it ain't hurting nobody? So I always try to talk to it on that type of level is all. Then let me ask you this. When it comes to a story like I seen, again, when we say things aren't a thing, typically with women, when things aren't a thing, they become a thing because they let that thing go. Now you have
Yo. What was Look at that.
Anissa played this season.
Look at this. Would you? If you're watching this on live, run to the phone real quick because I have this on pause. Look at this. Long, ridiculous blonde wig, and she's all smart. This looks ridiculous. This looks absolutely insane. But when you try to tell our black sisters that this looks crazy, and she has the eyelashes on, she got the whole Instagram look going on. She got the whole I hate myself package going on right now. Next season, she's going to be bleaching her skin. This looks crazy, man. But when we try to tell them, they're like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm a strong, independent woman. That's their go-to. You can't tell me what to do. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Books between kids Houston.
You will see that the black girls in the back who consider themselves men or like boys, they all have their hair natural. And I had a girl tell me, she said, it was a black woman. She said, black women's hair ain't feminine. At least she was being honest at how she responded. She said, our hair ain't feminine. So that's why I wear a wig. It's easier to look feminine with our hair. So that girl that you just saw had a 99-inch blonde wig to play a sport because she felt like she looks better with that long pea blonde wig than her own hair. Now, you said earlier about, well, there's a difference between black and white. That's why I told the story about my daughter, because my daughter said, well, okay, I understand that little girl is white, but my mom is the same color as I am. She don't have hair like me. I'm by myself. And that's when I told her, Mom, you taking that crap out of your hair. From that day to the day that my daughter's grown now, she's never worn another wig. And as a matter of fact, her hair grows all the way down to her butt now. It's all the way down to her butt.
Because she
Simply
stopped
because
messing
she
with
cared
it.
enough about her kid to say, if I care enough about everything else, what my kid eats and all of these things, I should care enough to teach my kid how to do her own hair. Because what happens when other people stop cutting their hair off and giving it to me? If I don't know how to do my hair, like one of the great things about knowing how to do other things, if they cut my electricity off, I know how to turn on my generator.
You still know how to do it, yeah.
If they turn my water off, I know how to make my own. A lot of times when you know how to do multiple things, even
which is the saying, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. If you know how to do multiple things, no one can ever take away your livelihood. And the perfect example of that in most recent time is when they took away the food stamps and the welfare. Those women were losing their minds because they had nothing else. They had no other skill or trade to earn money. They were so reliant on daddy government giving them money and giving them stuff without them having to work for it. And that's how the government wants it, so they can control exactly how you move. They can control exactly how you move. They tell you, you can't have a man in here. We gonna give you the stuff, but you can't have a man in here. It's all control, but women are just so silly they can't realize it sometimes. Majority of the time, it seems like.
Even when it comes to hair, you'll watch so many people say, and I've heard it from you, and I've heard so many women say, I don't know how to do my own hair. But then I've watched these tutorials of how they know how to brush, comb, even boil the fake hair. So these are all things they had to learn in order to maintain the fake hair. They could have put the same energy in learning the other thing. Why is it that black males who play football, just like these girls who play basketball, have long flowing hair to where they be pulling it when they tackling them? They seem to know how to do their hair and grow their hair. And the black men, who I bet it would be easier for them to put on a white guy's toupee, because you could get hair that looked like it grew out of your scalp as an extension. But it seems like women prefer to get hair that look obviously like it didn't. Where does that come from? Do you think that's a part of
laziness and insecurity?
I guess white supremacy?
Well, I don't believe in white supremacy. So, I mean, I guess that we will have different thoughts on that as far as why is it.
Well, I
But
don't
yeah,
believe in it either. I
I think
just know that
I
I don't
think
believe
a
in it
lot
either.
of it, like I said, if I use the example from my mom, I think the ideology is taught to their children. They teach them, like you see how your daughter is coming and saying, "Hey, this," yeah, typically they would just give them weave, they would just put the weave in their hair and say it's not a problem. And that's where that comes from. Like I said, from a kid all the way up until I was an adult, my mom did this to my hair. Like it's something that Black moms do to their children typically. So the children are left with no idea of how to maintain their hair. This is why Black women spend so much money on going to get their hair done, right? They spend money on going to get their hair done because they really don't know how to maintain it. They don't know how to do it. Okay? Where I mean, I guess in a way where they would feel comfortable, should I say? I don't know if that's the way to put that, in a way that they will feel pretty or feminine, if you will. But that is just a reality of what we went through and what we come from. I'm not trying to say like, yo, this is the way. Yeah, wigs are the way. I'm not saying that. I'm not here to say that. But I am here to say that, like, this is just our experience as little girls growing up by single mothers, because I grew up by a single mother. So this is my experience with her. She got my hair done. She put weave in my hair, and that's all I knew coming up of how to maintain my hair, how to wear my hair. I never went through a phase where we were wearing froze or we were
So
wearing our natural hair,
hold
and
on,
that was
hold
a
on, hold
thing.
on.
Like that was never a thing for us. So
So if she has a little girl, what is she gonna do? Is she just gonna just not figure out how to do her child's hair, and then tell her child to wear a weave as well? So when is it gonna stop? If she's saying that she doesn't have what is she saying? Like she doesn't have the time, or she can't figure out how to, but she figured out everything else. So I don't believe that. It's really just laziness and insecurities. That's all it boils down to. Is laziness and insecurities. So if she has a little girl, she's gonna tell her daughter what? I'm sorry, sweetie. I can't figure out how to do your hair. I just can't figure it out. So you're gonna have to wear weaves. If that is like that doesn't make any sense. I know she wouldn't say that. She would figure it out.
So when you think about growing up in something that is not a thing, and then you try to tell me to make it a thing, like, yo, you don't love yourself because you're not making this thing a thing. It's like, well, this is kind of how we were raised. And I understand that you could definitely understand how to maintain your hair. Like I said, a lot of Black women, like you said, your wife, her hair is down to her butt. A lot of women just they feel like they don't know how to maintain their hair, but they have hair under it. You know what I'm saying? They have the hair, but maybe it do come from self-hate. I don't know. I don't know. Like it's not one of the topics that I like typically. Like I have done zero research on this topic. Literally, the stuff that I know is just stuff that I've stumbled across. I've done zero research because I just have my topics where I'm like, okay, what do I want to talk about? And typically I like to talk about things that are, like to me that I feel like is like, you know, critical, like we need to critically talk
Mhm.
about this. And I like personally, I don't have children. You know what I mean? So because I don't have children, I don't have that same mindset as you, as where you're like, well, my kid is not going to see that, which I can understand. Like, my kid is feeling like this, you know, we're gonna have to cut this out. I understand that, I understand that mentality. But for me, I don't have kids, and I don't have to, that's not something I have to think about, even though I do think about, yes, I want to have kids. So I do think about this as far as, like I told you, I cut my hair off. I didn't cut my hair off because I just wanted to cut my hair off and I thought it was be fun and I wanted to do a Britney Spears. I cut my hair off because I was like, you know what? I'm going to start over and I'm going to grow out my natural hair, and I'm going to try to learn how to maintain my natural hair. That's why I cut my hair off. And it's people, like you said, like you can do this to weave, you can do this to weave, and you can do this to weave. Why can't you do this to your hair? Well, a lot of the part of why you can't do this to your hair, because with weave, you can put heat on weave. But you put heat on your hair, you're gonna kill your hair. And that's the problem. That's why a lot of Black women don't wear their hair, because yeah, our hair is like curly naturally. My hair is not curly, it is just nappy. I have nigga hair. Okay. That's how I would put it. It's not curly, it's not straight, it's just nigga
Yo,
hair.
do you see Tommy's face when she said that? Did you see Tommy's face? She said she has nigga hair. Woman, you just that with that statement, you got me in here stuttering. With that statement, you just proved everything that I was thinking. That you have nigga hair. Wow. What a terrible thing to say about that. That's what I was talking about, the insecurities. She sees herself, she sees her hair as less than. That's why she wants to do it how she has it right now, because she just said it. I have nigga hair, and that has a negative connotation with how she said it and the context of it, which is how she feels about it. She doesn't think her hair is good enough. That's why she doesn't even want to learn to do it, because she doesn't think it's good enough. I'm glad she said that.
Okay. So for me personally, I don't like putting a lot of heat on my hair because if I put heat on my hair, it literally makes my hair break off. So like it's
So
hard for
don't
me.
put heat on
Okay,
it.
like me personally. I don't know about other women and what they got going on and why they do things, but me personally, I just don't know how to maintain it. I haven't had the time to like, okay, figure out how to properly maintain my hair. I can do what I can. I can put the oils, I can put the rose water, I could put all of the stuff that I need to put on my hair, but I can only do so much.
Well, you talked earlier, and I know you said you don't have any children. Do you have any content talking about the way Black people raise their children? Do you speak on how you see the
Yeah.
children of today?
Yeah, I do.
But
I
you don't
do.
have any children.
I don't have any children. I do not, but
I
I
know
can
you said you
definitely
don't speak. You
identify.
said it's easier
I
for.
can
I was asking that because you said it was easier for me to speak about it because I had it. It's harder for you to look at it that way because you don't have any children. But I think a part of activism is that a lot of us don't do. And here's what the reason I bring that up. Do you know we're asking people to do things when we talk like this? When we talking about conservatism, we're asking
I don't
people to
ask
do
anybody
things.
to do anything. I don't my platform is not about asking people to do anything. It's about
Oh,
getting
then you
people
then
to
I may
think
have gotten
about
it
the
wrong.
things
But
that
go ahead and tell me
they've
what it is
done.
that you can
Well,
tell me then. What
I
is it that you
personally,
do?
I'm not trying to persuade people to do anything. I don't want to I want people to think
Oh
for
no, I want to
themselves.
know.
Hold on, guys. Give me like 2 seconds. I gotta fix this real quick. Just give me 2 seconds. All right, we back. We back. We're back. Let's see.
What it is you do. Not that you don't. We get it. You don't try to
Right.
persuade.
I just
What
said
is
it.
it
I
that you
said I want to get people to think for themselves. I'm not here to say think like me, do what I do. I have the right way. That's not what I'm here to say. I'm here to say, hey, maybe it's a different way. That's my point. Maybe it's a different way. I'm not here to say, yo, this is the way. I'm not a parent. I can tell people how to be a mother. I'm not a mother, but I can identify things on the outside looking in and say, hey, you know, because I've done research, maybe you shouldn't do this because your child is more likely to be this. I can say that. Now,
like a
I don't know how much research there is to wearing wigs and people having cancer and identifying what cancer comes from wearing wigs. I don't know how much research it is on that. But I do know there's research on, Black women raising criminals. So I can speak about that because, like, hey, they did research on this, and you guys are more likely to raise criminals. And we do have a lot of Black criminals in jail, just so happen to be Black men. So I can't speak to that. But I can't speak to something that there's not enough research on. I'm not going to sit here and have a definitive opinion about it.
oh no, not you, the person speaking to you or out loud, like how you would speak. You said you want to make the person not think like you, but give them an alternative.
I don't want to I just want them to think for themselves. I want them to understand that the thoughts that are in your brain, a lot of them have been implanted in your brain. So I'm not trying to teach people things. I'm trying to awaken people. And when you awaken people, it's removing layers of programming. That's what I try to do. That's why my content is so like abrasive. Because I'm not trying to teach you really anything. I'm trying to remove layers of programming. So that means I'm
But
trying
wouldn't
to
you think?
awaken you.
But wouldn't you think that would be exactly what a person, if they were talking about hair, because they knew it, and the other person is saying, well, I wasn't taught this, and the thing I was taught, it seems like it's a part of our program. It seems like it's a part of us as Black women, our culture, our programming. Wouldn't that person be doing the exact same thing? They were just
Well, I
saying,
think
you were taught this, you were
I think
made to
that it
believe
dep
this.
listen, I think it depends on what you choose to focus on. Me personally, I don't focus on things
Oh, no, no,
that doesn't
you don't.
affect me
No,
or
no.
hourly.
I know you don't. You remember, I'm talking to you, just like if you were talking to
Right.
me and I was saying something and
Right.
I was
But
saying
I'm
something
never
about
but I can't really get into that mindset of trying to focus on something that to me like is a personal issue. Like I'm not gonna tell somebody they can't get their titties done. If you want to get your titties done, go get your titties done. I'm not gonna say, well, you're more likely to get breast cancer if you get your titties done. No, if you get
you
your titties done.
wouldn't tell them that.
Well, no. Why would I tell them that? It's
To
a
You
keep
personal
wouldn't tell
what?
them
decision.
that they're more likely to get breast
I
if
don't
you
know if
knew
that's
that
true.
there's
I just made that
no,
up.
no,
I
no.
don't
I
know
said if you knew there was a study and you're talking to them, you wouldn't say it.
okay. I mean,
If you knew it.
sh I mean, if I knew it was a study and it says that you're more likely to go get your if you go get your titties done, you're more likely to get yes, I would tell them, but I wouldn't tell them like you shouldn't go do this. I'm not here to make decisions for people. I can give you the information, but I'm not going to make a decision for you and say that this is what it is.
Tommy froze.
I don't know what happened, guys.
Tommy look crazy. What she's saying really doesn't make any. It doesn't really make any sense. Let me see what's going on here.
Time.
Are we here?
Four walls won't hold me tonight. If this, tell them that is human.
I'm like, I don't even know how to advise
And I
you.
can read what they were writing. The people in your comment section were saying, he's frozen. And then the people in mine were saying, she's frozen. And I was like, but I see y'all talking and nobody saw me. Then they said, you disappeared. And I said, no. But we're back.
Oh my
I
God, that is
was
hilarious.
very dramatic. I was very dramatic. But now we're back. Oh my God. But let's move on to something else. I want to move on to this right here because you were talking about what you've seen in the children. Did you see this video here?
Oh my goodness. There is no way. See, this only happens. This foolishness only happens with women. Like fathers do not do this. This little boy has a full. This is a little boy, full face of makeup and lace front wig, and of course it's gonna be pink with the eyelashes. And this is why the Black community is failing.
Okay.
This is exactly
First off,
why.
I don't mean to laugh because there's a boy and a child. But
God.
I think that should be child abuse.
It
What
is
say you?
child abuse.
So as far as the children, like I said, I have a totally different perspective when it comes to children.
Oh boy.
I do think that I don't know. See, I don't know. I definitely think it is horrible to allow your child to put on a wig and all of this. I'm one of the people that I don't know because it's like
What do you mean you
I feel
don't
like
know?
parents it's on the parents. Like I can't really tell people like it's not endangering anybody. I don't know. I
There it
really
is,
don't.
man. She's part of the problem. She's part of the problem. If she can't objectively look at that situation and say that this mother should not be taking her son, putting a full face of makeup on him, eyelashes and a lace front wig while he's acting in a very feminine fashion, then she is. Carmen J just said, I don't really know about this. Maybe it's up to the. No, that's wrong. It's wrong.
Think hardly about these topics because I think that they are like, it's like something that you can't really make people do. Okay. If somebody want to put on a wig, it's not illegal, you know? So I like to focus on like things that is like, I don't know, but I think it's horrible. It's my personal opinion. I would never allow my son to do this. Say what you want. I would never allow that. But yeah, I definitely think it's horrible.
So when you watch things like this, like they got mad at me because I said this is what single mothers reproduce. Back in
Yes.
2000, and I think it was 13. Y'all can Google it. The newspaper called the Huffington Post took out a big old article about me, about saying that I said that black single mothers raised homosexual boys. Well, yes, I said that.
Yeah.
I said it is very easy for this boy who does not have a father around him to take a look and see what his mother's doing. T.S. Madison was on my show, been on my show a few times. But one time T.S. Madison came on my show, and T.S. Madison said this. And for the people who don't know, T.S. means transsexual. T.S. came on my show and said, I became a transsexual to honor my mom because she was the strongest person in my life.
Crazy.
And he thought, I will always call him he thought that what he was saying was empowering. And the black women were like, yeah. And I kept saying, no, that's a problem. I think that's kind of what I was trying to get into with you is we can say because somebody grown, they can do whatever they want to do. Well, then that means at a certain point in time, we can't be holding people responsible. We can't say anything to someone because they grown. Matter of fact, the only people we can criticize would be a child at that point.
Yes.
Because I grew up in the South, and in the South, we were told children should be seen and not heard. They didn't want to hear our opinion. They didn't want nothing. So we made it to 18, and once 18 came, we supposed to know the whole world, but you didn't teach us shit. You told us to shut up till we turned 18. Now at 18, we supposed to know how it is to be grown, but you never asked for my opinion. You never allowed me to give one, and you showed me all types of degeneracy, and the only thing I knew how to do when I turned 18 was degenerate behavior, which is why a lot of these young girls, as soon as they turn 18, or usually before, you know what they do in order to get the wig that the little boy was wearing? Sell themselves.
Use
because
sex.
People have told them that having wigs and weaves on is black culture, that there's nothing wrong with it. So even though they have their own natural growing hair, which would prevent them, because black people are just like you said about all these people who are in jail, all these boys who are in jail that come from single parent homes, we also suffer financially more than anyone. And yet we put out billions of dollars on that hair that shouldn't mean anything. Normally we would tell somebody, and I don't care if this is a black man was spending billions of dollars on jacks or life cards, Pokemon cards. I guarantee you, even though they are harmless, somebody would speak up and say, that money you spending on those Pokemon cards could have sent a kid to school, could have gotten you out of that bad neighborhood. You didn't need those cards. And especially if the only reason you wearing those cards is because you feel cool in school without them, we would say something about that. And as a black man, I know because almost everything we do, somebody says something about it. But yet we have this billion-dollar industry that we're giving to this other group of people. And you have hair on your head that if you learn how to do it yourself, all that money would go back to you. So much so that the little boy that thinks he's a girl, like the one we just showed, he throws on a hot pink wig, like the video I showed you before. The basketball girl who wants to be feminine throws on a piss blonde wig that's 99 inches. But the ones who believe that they're men wear their natural hair. They have never complained about how hard it is to do. Allen Iverson somehow was able to do his hair while playing in the NBA. But if he decided to be a girl tomorrow, He'd put on a wig. So what we've taught our culture is that white hair is feminine or Asian hair is feminine. So much so that there are young kids out there like this boy and girls who are selling their body to pay for this $300 and $400 hairdo, selling themselves,
I understand.
prostituting themselves underage so they can afford a hairstyle that their parents can't afford to pay for because they're single moms.
I don't think the hairstyle in that issue would be the issue, though, right? The issue is the parenting, right? It's not the hair. Like, they're not like, oh my gosh, I got to do whatever I can do to get hair. They're not only selling themselves for hair, they're selling themselves for alcohol, for drugs, for money, for
Yep.
rent, for shoes, for clothes. So, like we could talk
And
about
wouldn't we
hair and
consider
make
all
it,
those things to be poor decisions based
yeah, poor
upon
decision
what
making,
we
but
have
that is
put in their
about,
head?
yeah, that would be more about the parenting than it would be about like valuing hair. Like, I don't think it's this, like, I do think an obsession with weave in the black community, especially when it comes to women. It's black women that pay $400 or $500 to get their hair fixed. I would never do that. Okay. I told you, I do my hair, I do it myself. I don't pay anybody to do my hair. I do it myself. I don't spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on my hair. I don't do
Somebody in
that.
your comment section said it's more likely, and that's where I was going. Just like with
What?
they feel like they need to have the shoes, it should be on the screen. That's what somebody in your comment section
Oh,
said.
more likely Hollywood worship than mommy
Hollywood work.
issues.
If you think about it, you can have great parents, but if the world has them out there with long blonde wigs, remember, well, you don't. You were a child once. You don't have to be a parent to know children because you were a child once. When you were a child, let me tell you what it was you knew. Yeah, your parents might have told you you look good the way you are. But if everybody in the school got these clothes, these shoes, this hat, this whatever it is, you're not going to say, my mama told me I look good without makeup, so I don't have to wear none. If all the girls at school are wearing it.
I disagree. I was never like the girls
Go
at
ahead.
school. I was never like them.
Huh?
I never cared about what they had
But
on.
see, this is
I thought
the
they were
issue that I have
losers.
with
To me, to me,
so many girls. They keep on bringing it back to them. He's speaking in general. She's like, but me, but I, not me. I didn't do it. But we're not talking about, fine, you might be the exception to the rule. I doubt it, but whatever. It's not about you. He's speaking in generalities about the young girls as a whole.
I think you're a loser if you feel like the clothes that you wear, and this is because of how I was raised. That's why I don't know. It could be me. And I was raised by a single mother, but the head of our household was my grandfather. Okay. So to me, how I was raised, I was always raised with good character, how I carry myself. I was never raised to be materialistic, to care about Jordans and stuff. Now, I did, like you said, with the Hollywood and stuff, I did go down that path of thinking like, oh, these things are great and I value these things. You're not wrong. I did go down that path. But then I was able, because of how I was raised, I was able to go through that as a lesson rather than a way of being, a state of being, and understand like, yo, this stuff means nothing to me. This is why I despise Hollywood. It means absolutely nothing to me. Okay. Because the material things get you nothing at the end of the day. When you're in them situations where materials don't matter and you need a person, someone you can depend on, materials get you nowhere. Okay? I've experienced that. I've experienced that in them situations where I don't need the materials. I need a friend, and my friend only care about my materials. I've been there. Okay? I've been down
Mhm.
and seen how my friends treat me different. That's why I don't value any of it. Shop at the Goodwill. Okay? You can catch me in a Goodwill and I'll be having a good time in there. Okay? A Goodwill near me. I will have a good time in there because I don't value these things. And I'm going to teach my children to not value these things or not value these people. A lot of the stuff that we do see is at it's like a lot of the stuff that we do see is a result of parenting, and it's a result of letting your children do certain things. Look at the Jewish community. Why don't the Jewish community want their children playing with goyim? Why don't they want them? Because they don't want them to make their minds, they'll tell them something and mess their minds up and say, yo, this goyim kid or whatever they call them told me this. So now that person is tainted, you know? It's kind of the same thing.
But they did the same thing with rhinoplasty. See, they had at least their men were able to stand up, and the women didn't look at them and tell them, well, it's just a nose job. They did the
What
same
do you
thing
mean?
with rhinoplasties. Their women used to get one for their the women used to get one for when they would turn a certain age because they were ashamed of their Jewish nose. They changed it
Okay.
and they said, no, we're not going to do this anymore. And it's one of the things that you hear the comedian, I forgot her name, somebody Silverman talked about it, about how the men stood up and said, we're going to be proud of being Jewish, everything that comes with it.
Okay.
And that
So,
made a change. And it was just a nose, and it shouldn't have been anything because it's just a nose. I'm with you. It's just a nose.
okay.
But
So
she
what did
said it
they
brought
so
pride to them because they now accepted every part about them, which meant
okay.
that they didn't have to go and give some surgeon, make some surgeon, which means no, the surgeon might have probably used it been Jewish, but they didn't have to make some surgery. It's like this thing, like what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you that they did this thing. Like if you were in LA, you saw every Friday within the midst of all that LA stuff that was going on, because I used to live there off of Wilshire. In the midst of all that stuff, I remember it was the first time I had ever seen the Hasidic Jews. I had never seen them. They walk around with their hats and their curls. And every Friday, they'll be walking. They don't even use a motor vehicle. They're walking to the synagogue. And so I asked, what the hell? And then I thought, well, aren't those kids embarrassed? Because the other kids don't wear stuff like that? And they said, no, because they send their kids to Hebrew school. So the other kids at Hebrew school dress like that, which make it easier for them. Same thing that happened with myself and my daughter. I could have sent her to public school. Public school would have made it to where my daughter would have had to be in a fashion show. Now, I would have raised her to where she shouldn't have had to, but I also understand peer pressure. Peer pressure is what have you had a couple naked pictures out there that now you say, half naked, you said, that now as you got older, you realize it's not something you do. Peer pressure made me get so drunk when I was in college that I woke up the next day in the grass. Peer pressure is a real thing, and anybody that denies it is a liar. Peer pressure is a real thing. I took that
It's a
pressure
real
from my
thing.
kids. She went to a school that had they all wore the same uniform. None of us parents had to buy Jordans, had to buy all these things, and it was more money that we could put in the school. Now, it was a private school, which cost a bit, but we did it for a reason. A lot of times we can help our children stand out, especially if you're a Christian, because the part of being a Christian is to be in the world, but not of the world. So when you think of like what other people are doing, like the parenting, the single parenting is a bad thing. But I guarantee you, if a single parent was in here with us and a product of a single parent was in here with us, many of them would say the same thing you said about the hair. They're not even trying to be an asshole. Life is just easier doing it the way you've seen it done.
I'm confused.
Why would a woman want to get married if they've seen people not get married? Like
So
marriage ain't a thing.
I'm a little confused because like you're saying like the hair thing because like we spent this whole time like on the hair thing, which I can appreciate, but like you're saying like okay, you put your daughter in a school and a white girl asked about her hair, right? Why not put her in a black school where she don't have to have those issues? Like why not
Well,
have
that was a school.
why not but I'm saying why not have her around people that look like her because we're so pro black and we want to be pro black and we want to wear black hair. So why not have her go to a black school? Why are we going to white schools expecting our children to feel like they fit
Who
in
said it
if
was
you're
a white
going to
school?
a white school? Why not put her around black greatness? Is my question because if she was around black greatness and she saw other people that look like her, she would have never had those feelings. So,
Would you like to
in
hear the
my
answer, or would you?
opinion,
Wait. Would you like to now hear
I
the
was just
answer
getting I
instead
was
of
just
continuing to
getting
go?
what I was thinking off. I'm
No.
just
You
saying
asked
why
me, and
put
you
them in
personalized my
why
house. And
appreciate the
wait,
white
ma'am,
culture of white
ma'am,
She's
teachers.
triggered.
ma'am. Hold on now.
She's triggered. She's triggered. First of all, Tommy didn't even say anything about it being a white school. He did not say that. He said it was a white girl, not a white school. And then secondly, even if Tommy did put her in a quote unquote black school, she would still be under the same thing because of women like her. Because of women like Carmen Jaycee who choose to wear her hair like a white woman and not a black woman. So either way, it would be the same outcome because of the black women of today. What she's saying, I'm gonna just let Tommy take it away.
Personalized my house. So hear the other
I
answer.
didn't personalize
No,
it.
yes, you did. You said, why
and I
didn't
used your
I?
example.
Ma'am, let
I
me
used
answer
your
the
example.
question.
All the
Ma'am,
information I
let
gave
me
you, you gave
answer
me
it.
that information to use.
Ma'am, let me answer it.
Okay,
Why would you, your audience and my audience, listen, why would she be allowed to do what she just did? And I have an answer to it. She said, why didn't you? She should want to know. While she's being sarcastic and saying, put him around black greatness. Well, I actually did. Her mother used to wear a blonde wig. She was 5 and it was a preschool. When it happened, I took it off her mother's head. No more weave around my kid. And then she went to a black school from there. So it did happen. So I didn't sit around and make up a lie or an excuse and complain and talk about something. I don't know how to do no better. I actually really did better. No, I did better though, ma'am. I did what you said. Why didn't I do it? I did it.
Respectfully. If you had done that from the go, she would have never had that experience. Because you're sitting here talking like we spent this whole time. We spent over an hour talking about
learning.
Which is something
I learned.
I never talk about
weaves. I learned. I had never raised a dog.
This is not like you couldn't have possibly hit me up to talk about weaves and wigs because I don't talk about weaves and wigs. I don't even know about weaves and wigs. You know, so like
you do because you wear one.
Hit me up to talk.
No,
about
I talked about black things.
You personalized it. You made this about your daughter. You brought your daughter into this, which is fine. I'm very respectful. I respect all people. I respect everybody. You brought your daughter into this, and you made it about weaves and wigs, and yeah. You made this happen. Now I'm asking a very simple question as to why she's in a white school anyways. Why
and she wasn't. That's why I answered it. Listen to how you just said you asked a simple question, but you wouldn't let me answer. And I've never done that to you.
Listen, sorry,
not one time have you said, let me answer
respectfully at all.
Not one time have you said, let me answer that, and I would refuse to let you answer something I made an assertion.
Well, I let you finish. That's because I let you finish, and when you finish talking, then I speak. I don't cut you off in the middle of what you're saying.
About you. Didn't even do it about your mom.
I didn't bring up my personal. You brought this up. You
brought up your mom.
Something to an interview, and you say, "Hey, my daughter." You brought this up, which means this is fair game because you want to talk about your daughter. Right? I said nothing to do with my mom. I did say my mother is a single mother. Like I'm not denying anything. Like I'm confused as to how you brought something up, and then now when I bring that back to you,
this woman is 100% triggered. She is so triggered because Tommy actually came with a solution for when his daughter felt some type of way about her hair. He came up with a solution, and he didn't cry and complain and say, "Well, I just don't know what to do," like she's doing. She just said that she doesn't understand about wigs and weaves, but earlier in the podcast, she said that she wears wigs and weaves. So how do you not know about them, but you wear them? That's the first thing. And then secondly, she's been saying that she can't figure out how to do her hair or whatever. But Tommy said when his daughter came home and they had an issue with her hair because of school or whatever, he immediately made a change to rectify the situation. She probably got triggered because she didn't do that. And he's a man. He's a man. And he said, I don't know anything about women's hair, but I figured it out. And now my daughter's hair is down her back. And he's a man. That's why she feels triggered.
As to why was your kid in this situation
in the first place? I tried to answer it.
Well, I'm not stopping you from.
Why would you ask a question and didn't want to answer?
Me off. Well, you were cutting me off in the middle of when I was talking. This is recorded, so you can go back.
Why would one want to ask a question and not want an answer? Is all I'm asking. Why would one ask a question and make an assertion in the middle of the question
and wanting to finish my thoughts? And then once I finish my thoughts, you can answer the questions all you want. I'm not here to be antagonize you. I'm not an antagonizer.
The issue
I'm not even the type of person that does
it was a white school.
Well, you didn't ask me. You said that the person had blonde hair.
I said a white girl, not a white school.
White. Okay, well, I'm assuming.
Oh my God, that's my point. All you had to do was ask.
Okay,
I have
see,
never
this is
done
where
that
the
to you.
confusion is. I'm not
And
trying
I
to do
tried to
anything.
stop the
Tommy,
confusion. I literally tried.
okay, well,
I
listen,
tried to
listen.
stop
We can
it.
still listen. We can clarify this now. Listen, I'm a
That's
very
what you had to do in the first
critical
place.
thinker.
All
I'm
you
a
had to do was
logical thinker,
clarify
and
in the
I'm
first
very
place.
non-emotional. Okay, so we can keep
I
this and
know,
we can
that's what I was saying.
clarify
I
this
was
on the
trying to
record.
stop it. That's all I'm saying. I was trying to stop you from going down that road. That's why I said, let me answer it. Because if I
Okay,
was
so
telling
it
you,
was a
that's
black school. It was a black school. Is what
and
we're
see, and
saying.
a white girl. And it was just a white girl. That's why I said she was asking
So
the question. The
okay, so it
child
was a
asked
white
the
girl.
question. The white
Okay,
girl was her friend, a friend she played on the playground with at 5.
okay,
Because it's her friend, we typically will look towards a friend. So when she said this, I said, your hair is just as pretty as hers. What are you talking about? It wasn't her friend that was the problem, because she then said, but mama wearing that wig
Boom.
that looked just like the friend.
Boom.
And that's why I didn't go and say, change out the friend. I said, let the mom, who is the first one you should be looking up to, show you that the way you look and the way you are is a good thing. So therefore, you can walk around this white girl and that Indian girl and that whatever and feel like you belong.
okay.
This is why men lead. This is why men lead. Tommy saw an issue when his child was younger and he fixed it. He fixed it. What Carmen J is saying is, I couldn't fix it. So what I did was instead of finding a solution, I chose to be lazy and not do anything. This is why this is so important. Because Tommy came up with the solution while Carmen J is going to do the same thing that her mother did. If Carmen J has a daughter, she's going to do the exact same thing that her mother did to her. I don't know how to fix your hair, and instead of taking the time and energy to figure it out, I'm just going to put a weave on it. Tommy said, no, you figure it out so that she can feel comfortable in her own skin. There are so many black women that are not even comfortable in their own skin because their mothers didn't take the time to fix anything.
Okay, I got a
Because
question.
they have to do it. That's why I was
Okay,
saying with
so okay, I got a question because like blonde wig and wearing wigs, I think it's different. Okay, a blonde wig, a bright blonde wig, something that doesn't grow out of your hair. I think that's a little different than a wig. You made this whole thing about
It's
wigs
the
to
same
me.
thing.
And I feel like I have a
You're wearing
lot
something
more
that's
that
not
I can talk
yours.
about besides wigs. I understand your point. I really do. I really do understand your point. But had your person that you chose to have children with not had a blonde wig, okay? The person that you chose to have children with, had she not had a blonde wig, maybe she had some regular looking hair. Do you think your daughter still would have looked at that white girl and said, "Hey, why is this like this?"
yes, because that's why I used
It's
that
curiosity.
boy with the pink, or I can use another one, which is it's all black hair, and this woman is a boxer. This woman who has all black long hair is a boxer and a champion.
Nigga up, he got the singer like a sample.
Clarissa Shields.
Talking out your neck gon' get you knocked out them sandals. 42 and aces played on deck like I gamble. Say they get it poppin', I pull up, y'all gon' scramble. Fake hoes fuck, weird hoes fuck, weak, broke, lame hoes fuck.
That looks
Nigga
ridiculous.
out here tricking off that money on fuck. Thinking I'm the one that he gon' front on fuck. Snake hoes fuck, jealous.
This looks absolutely ridiculous. These women are telling the younger generation of women that how you were born is not enough. So in order to be accepted and in order to be quote unquote beautiful, you have to put on all of these things in order to be beautiful. Only black women do this to their young.
Hoes fuck, cheat, try, burn hoes fuck. If he being stingy, get his friend fuck. Say that shit not a wall again. Look, like my trunk.
So see, that right there would still make it's Asian, it's black. But my daughter's hair doesn't look like that. So she'd
You're
want
never
that.
going to make me defend these black women that do certain things. You're not going to make me defend them. I don't know if
Well,
you're
that's
here
just
for
it.
me
I
to
wasn't
be
trying
like
to get
a
you
black
defended. I
woman
was
that's going to
actually
defend these women. I'm not gonna defend it. The
But that's
behavior.
just it.
Like I
I
said,
was honestly shocked at
well,
what
I don't understand like where my expertise is in this. I don't
oh, no,
understand
no,
it. I
no.
don't
You're
talk about
human. We're
this.
all none of us haven't.
Well, I'm
We're
just saying,
human.
like, why, like, I don't talk about this. Like, I don't talk about weaves.
That's why I
I don't talk
asked you
about
about it.
wigs. Well,
But
I
that's why I
understand.
would
Why I
ask you
don't.
about
But I'm just saying, like, if you talk to somebody, you want to bring them on your podcast, you talk to them about something that they talk about, and you challenge them on stuff that they talk about. You don't bring up a random topic. You'll start talking to me about aliens in a second. Like, I don't talk about aliens. So why are we talking about aliens? Like, I can give you like a brief synopsis on what I feel about certain things, but like I don't talk about these things, so I don't understand like the point here. What are you trying to get me to do? Because I
I
don't
would tell
talk
you the only
about
reason I spoke
like
about it is
are you
because
gonna
you
ask?
said you do it. Because you said you do it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's
Like
very
you said,
clear
it's
that I do it. You
recorded.
can
So
look
once
at
you
me.
said,
You can just
if
look
I
at
was
me
up
and
here
see that I
talking
do it.
and I was saying something and I said something that interested you, if I said, you know, I sleep with guys too, and I'm a Christian. If you then said, I'm curious about that, let me ask more about that which that person just said.
I think that's a little
You said
unfair.
it.
Like to be fair, it's been an hour and 32 minutes. An hour and 15 of these minutes we've talked about wigs. To be fair, okay? I'm not a
Well, you can say
non-sensible
we
person.
now. If you
I'm a
say
very
we
sensible
talked about
person.
wigs too
I
long, I would
engaged in
understand.
this whole conversation. I gave you my thoughts on it. I told you what I felt about it, and you have video after video after video on it. Okay. And like, yes, I can address black people, and this could be a part of it. But this is just not one of the things I talked about. I started with I don't agree with it. I think that they shouldn't have to fucking wear the wigs to feel like this. I started there. I started
Oh,
there in the first 10 minutes of this conversation. I started there. I started being very transparent about myself and where I went. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
here's the thing. I also said to you as when we started, I said anything that you'd like to talk about, you could also say it back to me. Yes or no? Did I say
Absolutely.
this?
Absolutely.
All right. So
Listen,
anytime
it-
you change the subject, or because I was bringing the way I did it, and anybody can watch it and see why I did it that way. The way I did it was I was interested in the idea of someone starting off saying, I say things that piss people off, but I say things that I think are right. That's all
well,
I do.
I no, I don't say things I say things that I believe is right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't,
I say things that I believe is
not
right.
sure how what I said, but I'll say
But
that part.
yeah, I'm not
I
here
say things
trying
that piss
to
people
make
off, but I say
people
things that
believe
I
the things
believe
that I
are right.
believe, though. But I'm
But I
not here
understand.
trying to make people believe the things that I believe. That's
I
not
didn't say
my
that.
goal here. That's
I
not my
didn't say that.
goal.
I did not say that. Like even right there, I said we started this off with you saying I piss people off, but I'm only saying things that I know are right. And you said that I believe are right. I said okay, I
Yeah,
believe are right.
yeah.
But when we were talking about something that to me is just as big. So I was wondering when you were saying things like how you said nigga hair. These are not just a thought of something. That's something that then is a huge issue that black women have to deal with. And if I am discussing this with a black woman, most people would understand why I would dig deeper in that. Oprah would understand why I dug
Listen,
deeper
I
in that.
understand why you would dig deeper in it. I don't understand why you would spend an hour on it. I don't understand why you would spend an hour. I definitely understand why you would dig into it. But when you spend an hour on it,
Well,
it's like
anyway,
if
like I
you
said,
wanted to
you could
talk
have changed
about
it, said
black
it's too long.
hair, you should have just hit me up and say, "Hey, I want to do an interview on black hair." It's
I
clear
didn't
that
know
you
you were
would.
going to say nigga hair.
I mean, it's what it
Did I
is.
know
Like
you
I
were going to
said, I
say this?
said that. Okay, what is wrong with nigga hair?
Ma'am, did I? Okay, that's why I dug
What's wrong with
deeper.
that
That's all it
statement?
is.
But I'm
That's
saying, what is wrong
all
with
it
that statement?
is.
The fact that she doesn't understand what is wrong with her saying nigga hair is crazy. It's crazy. She just doesn't get it. And see, these are the ladies who are what men call chameleons. She acts one way, but then the more once she gets triggered, she's gonna bring it out like who she really is. She feels triggered. That's why she doesn't want to talk about this anymore. That's what. Look at Tommy's face. He's smiling because he knows that she's triggered. He knows it. that she's not being genuine, or maybe she is being genuine. Maybe this is really her.
What about that statement wants you to dig
I
deeper?
just stated that's all it is, because that is at that point. Black folks, we said there's black folks and niggas, which is what you spoke of. Apparently, nigga was bad.
Yes,
You referred to the hair
it's
as
bad.
that which you wouldn't refer to yourself or want your personality to be labeled as.
And that's why she wears the straight hair. That's why she puts the weave in, because she thinks of her hair as being less than. That's why she referred to it as nigga hair. She said, I have nigga hair. So since it's not good enough, I'm not gonna worry about doing anything with it. I'm just gonna straighten it and put some other people's hair in it to make it more acceptable to me, so that I feel pretty and I think I look pretty.
True or false?
Okay, so no, I just labeled myself. I labeled my own hair as nigga
That's
hair.
what, exactly what I said. Is that not
Okay,
exactly
so
what
like
I
what?
said?
Okay, but
Is
what?
that not
I don't
exactly
understand.
what I said?
I'm not understanding. I'm not
So I'm
understanding. So
interviewing you. So I'm trying to know, and the things that you're saying, trying to find out why. That's what I do when people come on my show.
right. I understand. Okay, I understand there is a interviewing and finding out why. I get that. I'm totally okay with you asking me questions. But
Apparently
like
you're
it's
not,
like
because
I said,
nobody else is bothered but you. Your audience isn't, mine isn't. Nobody's saying that's been going
okay.
too long.
She's
That's
the
too
only
many
one.
I'm
questions.
just
You're the
well,
only one who
I'm
said that
just
word.
saying that this is not a topic that I like talk about. So I don't
Then all you
understand
had to
why
do was say that,
you
and we could have
like
stopped. Hey, I don't
don't
want to talk
understand.
about that anymore. Just like if you were
Well,
asking me about my kid, I could say, I don't want to talk about my kid. Now, if you kept doing it,
well,
you don't respect me as a host. But I
no.
can stop you
Like I
because
said,
you don't know.
listen, like I said, I can only like it's only so much that I can give you on black women's hair. Like if you wanted to talk about black women's hair, once again, this is the only topic that we've hit. We've hit something for 5 minutes of the first part, and the rest of this show has been about black women's hair. It is not something I particularly care about. Okay, so if you would have came and said,
You
"Hey,
can stop me.
Carmen, you want to have a conversation about black women's hair?" I would have been
I
like,
didn't know.
I
Jesus
don't
Christ. Y'all
particularly
see
talk
what I'm
about
saying?
that. You did know. You clearly
I
knew because
didn't know that
you have
I sat
several
there and had
videos from
argument that
black
your
women's
hair was
hair.
real. We
Listen,
thought
you
your
have
hair was
several.
real.
Listen,
We
you
literally
have
thought your hair was real. We
Tommy.
did.
Are you
Guys in
insulting
the
my
comment
intelligence?
section,
Like at this
were you
point,
guys not
are you
arguing
insulting my
if her hair was
intelligence?
real at the beginning? Guys in the
Tommy,
comment section,
Tommy,
were you not
Tommy,
arguing
you're
if
a
her hair
black
was
man.
real at the beginning?
Tommy, you're asking your audience, and I'm asking you. You're a black man. You knew damn well what it is. Do not insult my intelligence. Please
Jesus
do not
Christ.
insult my intelligence. I'm
Okay,
just
so
saying.
if
So you this okay, Carmen, like this hole you dug yourself into is getting deeper by the moment. She's now assuming that Tommy knew that her hair wasn't real. How was he going to know that? Me looking at you, I thought it was real. The way it's done, it looks like it looks real. It doesn't look crazy how you see like a lot of these weaves out here. It looks real. So now she's getting upset because she's like, Tommy, you didn't know that my hair wasn't real. You didn't know that my hair wasn't real. No, goofball. He doesn't know because he's not a man that does. Again, black men don't put these things in their hair how black women do. So how are we supposed to know what is real and what is not if it looks very similar to your natural hair, which it does? How's he supposed to know? This woman's just triggered and she's wrong.
I'm
Insult my
insulting your
intelligence.
intelligence
You
by telling the
do not
truth.
think
Unlike you, I
that.
don't have the problem lying.
Okay,
Unlike you,
so
I don't have a problem lying or people asking me questions. And I don't care if it took you
I
an
have
hour.
no
It's an
problem with
interesting
people asking
conversation.
questions
You
either. I just
literally
feel like
got
we're going in
bothered by,
circles.
if it's so known that you wear weave and it's so not a problem, I don't understand why you'd be upset. Your own audience is saying he's done nothing wrong because I did it.
Listen,
Your
you
own
said
audience, not mine.
Okay, I am me. My audience do not speak for me. Okay, I
They
speak for
sure
myself.
are an
I'm my own
audience. And that's
person.
what we're doing, giving an
I'm my own
audience of
person.
people
Okay,
watching.
Okay, I understand. Listen,
So all you had to
like
do
I
is
feel like
tell
we're
me, I
wasting
don't want to talk
time
about hair.
here.
I would have talked about something else. But don't
I
act like
just
I did
talked to
something
you like
wrong.
don't try to say no. I'm not. I didn't say. I just said like, yo,
You
it's
literally
been
are.
an
There
hour and
wouldn't
a
be any
half of
contention if
talking
I
about
did something
hair.
wrong.
Like, okay, bro, I have much more things that you can ask my
There
thoughts about.
wouldn't be any contention if you were not bothered because I wasn't.
Yep.
Tommy,
Yep.
you just blew
I
up
wasn't
about some
mean. I
shit.
didn't cuss
You,
you out. I didn't call you a
I didn't
name.
curse you
I didn't say you
out
were
either.
stupid. I
I
didn't
didn't do
say you
any of
were
those
lying.
things
I didn't
either.
say
I
anything.
didn't do
I
any of
was
those things
intrigued by
either.
what I was hearing and asked more. That's all I did. I was
I
intrigued
didn't do
by
any of
what
those
you were
things.
saying. Huh?
Okay. I understand that. Like I said, I totally understand
And
that.
I would have cut it
And
off as soon as you said cut it off. I would have went to something else.
I don't,
I didn't know.
it's not, listen, this is not my interview. I've done a lot of interviews. Okay. I've done a lot of, and I usually don't discuss the topics. Okay. I've done interviews. This is typically not how they go. Okay. This is typically somebody just don't harp on one topic. And yeah, it's just not what it is.
When a person says it's one topic, if you talk about black folks all the time, that's one topic. And as a matter of fact, you've had people tell you that would make you a sellout because you don't talk about the white man. You just talk about the black one.
I mean,
You just always
I
find
don't
something to problem with
listen.
the black.
I'm not here. Listen, I don't. My platform has nothing to do about what people say. If I cared about people say, I'd be a Democrat.
What?
Okay. If I cared about what people told me and what people say, my whole family is liberals. I would be a freaking Democrat. I don't care about what people say.
I'm with you. So that's why I asked my
my
questions the way I
platform
asked
is
them.
about me being authentically who I
Yes.
am.
So and that's what
Like
mine
that's what it
is.
is.
And
Okay.
all I did was ask questions based upon how I normally would ask questions. So when someone I don't know tells me you've spent too much time on that, they can tell me they don't want to do it, but that don't mean I've spent too much time. It's more time than they would have liked.
Right.
Those are two different things. Just like he
Right.
said, you got liberal parents or liberal family who don't want to do or talk about what you talk about,
Sir,
but you don't give a shit.
respectfully, you brought me on here to talk about the black family. Clearly,
Yes.
it's what you brought me here to talk about. We didn't talk about the black family
Well,
at
no,
all.
wait, no. I said the
We didn't
black
talk about
family and
we
black.
didn't
Oh
talk
no,
about the
what
black
is the
family at
title,
all, sir.
ma'am?
Like
What does
you're
the
trying
title
to make me
say?
look like I'm crazy, and
What does the
it's
title say?
crazy.
What does the title say?
The black family and the black women on trial. You didn't mention that to me personally, though.
It's been
You
on
didn't
it.
mention that to me personally.
It's been on it since you joined. I said it when we started, and I
Okay,
recorded it.
but what is the black woman on trial? That could mean
I
anything.
said
Like,
it
what do
when
you
we
mean?
started. Now you're
You
gonna
said we
lie
were
and
gonna
say
talk
I
about the
didn't say
black
black
one.
women. Y'all,
Listen,
when we
sir.
were talking, her audience, listen, didn't I say it? When I asked her about how she speaks about black women, being a black woman, what do they say? What do they say to you? How do they do? I sure did. I started,
Sir,
and then when I brought up the little boy with the
respectfully,
wig,
I listen. If you want to talk about something else, I'm not here to argue. Okay, I'm not. Listen, I have more things
but you're being
that I can
bothered
do
by
to
hair.
argue.
But
No,
you're
you're
being
trying
bothered
to
by a
make
hair
it
question,
like
and not
I'm
even
being
offensive.
bothered by hair. No, I'm bothered because I've spent 2 hours of my time talking about hair. Something
Then
I
you could have
do not
stopped.
listen. Listen, I choose to go
I
on
didn't
interviews.
force you.
I
You
don't
could have stopped.
accept. Okay, but I don't accept all interviews. I pick my interviews very wisely. Okay, because I'm
Well,
not this
apparently this was
person.
not going the way
I'm
you
not
wanted it,
this
and I
internet
respect your
person
opinion.
that does things for to. Okay, but Tommy,
And I
listen,
didn't do it for
I'm
that
not
either. I was being very
okay, but
respectful.
okay,
I didn't do
can you
anything
allow me
wrong.
to speak, please? Can you allow me to speak? Because I'm not
A
this
person
person.
trying to
I'm not
play
a
victim,
person.
like they said, which is why black women are the downfall of the black community because they put
Sure.
themselves in a
Okay.
man's position to have a discussion like an adult, and then they turned
They
around and
can't
got
do it.
bothered by hair. You did that.
Okay. Sure.
I would never have this
Sure.
discussion with a grown man
Sure.
to where he would be so upset that I was focusing on something he said that I knew nothing about. He said
No,
it.
actually, it's not because your focuses on something. It's you're focusing on something I don't talk about. I don't understand who invites
Then why
somebody
didn't
to
you
come onto
stop
their
it?
podcast to talk about something they don't.
If she doesn't talk about these type of things, then why didn't she stop it when she felt that it was going on too long? Why didn't she say, "Hey, let's change it to something else"? But she just went along with the conversation, and then when the kitchen got too hot, then she wants to try to make it seem like Tommy did something wrong. Tommy, he's absolutely right. That's what she's trying to play the victim right now. If you want to move on, just say, "Let's move on to another topic." Don't try to make it seem like he tricked you or he's doing something wrong because he didn't do anything wrong.
Talk about. You're the one that said, this is not a debate. I'm here to interview you. I want to ask you questions about the Black family. I asked you, what do you want to talk to me about? Not one time did you
I
mention
didn't
hair.
say I'm
If
here
you
to
said
ask
you
you
wanted to talk
questions
about
about the
hair, I would
Black
have been like,
family.
oh, okay. He wants to talk
I
about
did not
hair.
say this.
It's not for me.
We're
It's
gonna
not for me.
lie. Yo, now we're
So
gonna lie. I did not tell her. I did not, and I'll play it back. I did not tell this lady, I'm here to ask you questions about the Black community, the Black
you said
family.
you want to interview me. You didn't tell me you
I
want to interview
told
me
you
about
what I would
hair.
be asking and how it would go. I told you exactly what would happen. I
Yeah,
said
you
it is
said
very
you were gonna wing
I
it
said
and
it
you're
is
gonna ask me
very
multiple
I said
things.
it
You
is
just asked me
very
one thing.
informal. And you're sitting there lying again, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Black
Sir, I
women
don't
do. When
have
they
to
get upset,
lie.
they will then lie. I did not say that did not happen. And
Sir.
anybody that's ever interviewed with me know I give them
Yeah,
the same speech when I start. Same one. I said it is informal. Most of what will come out will be we will have a back and forth, and you can ask me whatever you want to based upon
right.
what you
Okay,
hear.
right. But I
That's what I
understand, Tommy.
said.
Tommy, listen. I totally understand. I am not that person. I am not this person that you're trying to like make it out to be. I don't know what's going on
But you
here,
just lied on me and
but
said I said something that I didn't.
you
I
did.
got the video of
You
us
very
before we
much
started.
so. Like, first of all, I feel like this is a debate. Okay, first of all, you made it very clear that this was not a debate. I want to interview you because I told you that I was doing a different debate, and you
You
said,
got
"Hey, this is
bothered by
not a
what I
debate.
was saying.
I want to interview."
When did
Why
I
do
try
I
to
feel like
debate
we're
you?
debating? I'm not trying to
When
debate
did I
about
try
Black
to
women's
debate you though?
hair.
But
You've been
when did
doing
I
it this
try to
entire
debate you?
time.
Was I trying to debate you when I put that boy up there?
You want
Nope. Your whole audience saw it. I did not. I didn't
okay? So
debate you.
why are we
I told
okay?
you what I
Okay,
saw.
okay.
I did
So
not
like I
tell you
said,
you had to
you
feel the
have
same
these
way. I told
videos.
you what I saw.
Okay,
And
fine.
then I
That's
said,
fine.
dude, I
Tommy,
talked about there
you
being a
got it.
single
You
mothers.
got it, Tommy. You got it. You got it. I am
Again,
not that
I
person.
wasn't bothered by any of this. If we're going to be in the
Listen,
space that we're in, I don't
you got it.
understand. If someone asked me about kids out of wedlock, and I've been asked several times, I just answer it. It doesn't make me look good, but I answer it. I don't get mad. Now, if they start trying to insult
I
me,
mean, I'm not.
yes, I
I'm
get
not.
mad.
Listen, you have me mistaken. I'm not at all mad. I'm a little frustrated that you brought me on here to talk about Black women's hair. Like I said, if this was your thing, like you wouldn't spend. It's been 2 hours. You wouldn't spend an hour and a half on Black women's hair. Like I said, I don't care to talk about it, and it's not like I didn't care to talk about it. I'm okay with talking about it, but it's not something that I feel like I would spend 2 hours of my time on. Right? It's fine. If that's what you like to talk about, that is fine. I have not one video about Black women's hair. Not one. Not one video do I care about. But I actually think Black women care too much about their hair. I think that they care too much about their wig melting and stuff. I think they care too much about that stuff. So for you
If
to
that's
come on
fine, then
here,
while I was doing it and there was
but
no
I'm just saying, like,
argument,
I don't make content on this, Tommy, so you can understand why I'm saying, like, yo, I don't even talk
but
about this,
that's
so I don't
why
understand
I
why you would want to
interview,
bring me on here to talk
but
about this
I
because it's not.
interview people, but that's why I said it out of my mouth when I prepped you to start. I did not tell you, here's the question I'm going to ask, and here's the
You did
question I'm
it.
going to ask, and here's the question I'm going to ask. I didn't do that.
Hmm.
And if that's what you wanted, or if that's how you normally do it, you would have sent to me, hey, I'm going to need you to let me know what questions you're going to ask. But what I told you was very specific, and everybody that's ever interviewed me with me knows this. That's why they even call my show the place where celebrities go to let go. Because when TD Jakes came on my show, he had 15 minutes. So that's all he was going to give me. He talked to me for 3 hours. And what did we talk to for 3 hours? Enough to where this man took me on when he was doing Jumping the Broom. I was going around helping them advertise this movie because I spoke to him about, as he stated, things that I never get to talk about. No one asked me these things. Every one of my interviews is that. I find out what it is as you talk because I'm a psychologist. So as you talk, I then try to dig into things you brought up. I never come
Respectfully,
into it.
Tommy, sorry, I'm not an idiot. I'm sorry. I can respect what happened here, but I'm not an idiot. You have video on top of video about hair. Okay, you planned on talking about hair. I'm not an idiot, okay? And that's fine. It's
Do
fine
y'all
because
see
you could have
this?
just told me. Like, if you
Do
wanted
y'all
to talk
see
about
this?
hair, you could have
So
just said, like,
again,
hey, I want to talk about
this
hair.
is
I got
Black.
videos on. I'm just saying, Tommy. Like
This
you
is
talk
black
about
women.
black
So this
women.
woman again is telling
I
me,
am
y'all
a
hear
black
what she's
woman,
doing.
so maybe
This is why, and I will stand 10 toes down on this. This is why, whenever you need to get something serious done, it's best just to not have women have a seat at the table. They will muddy the waters and make things more difficult than what they have to be. She just asserted and put something on on Tommy that he never even said. She said, "I've seen your videos and I knew that you were going to talk about black hair." Well, if that is the case, Carmen, when he started, why didn't you immediately shift the goalpost and go somewhere else? Why didn't you find a way to finagle the topic into something else? If you knew that he was going to put you in this type of trap, why not just shift it? Why not be ready and have some other topics ready? You didn't know. You have to. She's nothing but she's a chameleon. She's a modern day woman. She is a modern day woman that plays victim and all this other nonsense. Trying to be I'm gonna just keep it going. But this is how men get tricked, because she talks a good game, but once you put her in the hot seat, she reverts back to modern day feminism topic, especially as a black woman.
He's saying that, yes, that's why you're right. Black women are the downfall. You're going to keep on saying that I brought you here to talk about weed, like you sell hair. You knew you did that.
what is
That
the
doesn't
point,
make
Tommy?
sense. Y'all, that doesn't even make
Tommy,
sense.
what
I
other
brought her
videos
here to
do you
talk
got in
about
the
hair.
queue? Tommy, what other videos do you got in the
This
queue?
is insane.
What other videos do you have in the queue? What other
Yo,
videos
this,
do you have in
okay,
the queue?
wait.
'Cause I've seen like 3 different videos because we haven't done anything else
Hold on.
here.
Wait.
What other videos do you have in the
Here's
queue?
one right there.
Okay, but we haven't talked about it. It's been 2 hours. It's been 2 hours.
Okay, so you asked me what else I had.
She's moving the goalpost. She's moving the goalpost because she asked him and then he showed the other video. And now she's like, well, we haven't gotten to it.
Didn't wait. It came up immediately. Y'all see it? It wasn't a wait at all. Y'all, it wasn't. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to go look for it. It came up immediately, which meant that's what she tried to assume, that I wasn't going to talk about nothing. Now that she's seen I had it, she now says, yeah, but we hadn't talked about it. Because
you were going to talk about something else, because when you brought this conversation up, you said that you were going to talk about the black boys that raped the girl. That's what you said you were going to talk about. That's what you said. Okay,
wait a minute, and I also was going to talk about this.
The boys that raped the girl.
This also was here. Black woman destroying the black community. Y'all, this sounds insane. Y'all hear this? And your old man said, what's the problem talking about hair?
I'm still
Carmen, this is kind of cashed out. This is wild. I brought her on here to have a got you moment about hair. That's what I did.
I mean,
I have no idea how I did that, but I did it from her mouth.
We could have moved on. We could have been moved on. Okay.
You haven't since. I said if you told me to drop it, I would have.
I said what I said. We could have been moved on from this. I said what I said a long time ago, and you could have been moved on.
What was I saying after you said it?
Who's the woman here? Who's the man? Who's the man? Who's the woman?
See, there you go again. I don't mind. Hold on.
Let's move on.
Hold on. Apparently, you're the woman since you're the one wearing the wig. And apparently, you're the woman since you got to lie to get your way out of a situation you can't intelligently
What did I lie about? What did I lie about?
You're just sitting here lying, sounding like an idiot, talking about your mama, and you don't know how to do your own hair. All these years, you don't know how to do your own hair.
I came on this interview to lie.
I want to talk about some who's the man here.
It's not offensive.
You are the man.
Hey, what happened to that black boy? For the record, I do
oh, y'all black men, look how that black voice dropped. That's she insulting. I had to insult her. Now she's trying to insult. Typical black woman. They ain't got her way. Now she's trying to insult.
Oh, wow.
It's cool, though. I love when I get a chance to show y'all. They all grifting. They sitting up there saying what they think you want to hear, not the life they actually lead. Because she would have acted like a woman a long time ago. She would have stopped. This wouldn't have been necessary. Now you want to insult somebody. That's okay. Which one of us acting like the man? The one you want to be like. That's the one acting like the man.
I love being a woman.
Yeah. That's why that's brought me your videos. Repeating what people already said. You ain't got a new thought in your mind. Everything you say is what somebody else already said.
Okay, tell me why we're really here, Tommy.
Now, am I lying? Since you want to insult my manhood, since you want to insult my manhood, you were the one bitter. You insulted me as a man, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah,
You
because you're an
did.
emotional man. Not only that,
You
an
did. Hold
emotional
on.
one.
So men are supposed to have emotions. My
You
emotion
are.
is you
You
lied on
are.
me,
But when
ma'am,
you
because I didn't have
lead
to
an
lie on you.
emotion, you're less logical. I'm
Yeah,
completely calm over here.
ma'am, I
I'm
haven't said
completely
one thing
calm.
that was wrong.
I
You've
could
been
have ended
illogical
this a long
since you
time ago,
started.
but I choose to stay
Ma'am, you've
here.
been illogical since you started. Ain't a word came out my mouth that was illogical. Everybody followed every word I said and why.
That's
You got
good. Yeah,
upset, not me.
that's fine. I
I'm
love that
emotional
first. I
now.
love that.
So my
I
voice
love
is
that.
raised. I'm emotional, but I haven't said one thing that's wrong. Not one.
Okay, sure. What did I say that's wrong?
I can
What did
tell
I
you
say?
everything you said,
Everything
and
I
I've been
said on
saying.
here was
I
my
can
opinion. We
continue
didn't
to
talk
tell you
about
what you
facts.
said. You lied and said that I brought you on here and told you that I'm just going to talk about the black family, which is a lie, and I told them I was going to show them that's what happened. You also
Okay,
then
you can
turned
show the
around
text
and got
messages.
emotional and lied and said that when that I brought you on here specifically to talk about hair,
I
which
did.
was another
I've
lie.
never. I didn't say that. I asked
Yes,
you why
y'all,
you're
did she not
asking me
say
why we're
that?
talking about this for an hour and a half. That's
Y'all,
why
did
it's
she not
recorded.
say that? She
It's
said, I'm not
recorded.
stupid. I'm
I
not
said,
stupid.
"Don't
You brought
insult
me
me."
on
Yeah,
here
I
because
did say,
we're
"Don't
typically
insult
talking about
me."
that.
I did say, "Don't insult me." I definitely said that. Yeah, I
Yes, you said
definitely
that's
said,
what
"Don't
I came
insult
here to
me."
talk to you. And I said that makes no sense.
The-
I said I wouldn't have
I
brought you here to just do that.
well, I
Y'all
mean,
heard her talk and lie
clearly,
several times
listen.
in front of y'all. Won't
Sure,
stop and say, you know
call me
what?
a
I might have got
liar.
a little bothered by you talking about this
Call
hair,
me a
but I shouldn't have
liar.
lied on you. I haven't had to lie on
Call me a
you.
liar.
No,
Listen,
I
I
haven't.
don't
No, you
listen,
actually lied.
Tommy.
I haven't
I
had to lie on
honestly
you.
do not care, Tommy. I honestly don't care. I'm not that person to
Right.
care.
Somebody said
I'm
she
not that
said that
woman.
on your own group. She said that very spitefully so. And here's the thing. Y'all, black women, when you show them that they're wrong, and she talked about this earlier when she was calm and trying to talk down to y'all.
Still
When you
calm.
show
I'm
them
very
that they're
calm.
wrong, they don't stop and say, I'm wrong. Now, she can look back and see she was wrong. I guarantee
I
you she will not
sure.
come back and say, my bad. Guarantee you she won't.
I'm wrong for what, Tommy? I'm not wrong at all. I wrong for what? For coming onto your podcast
You
that you
lied
invited
and
me
said
on
I
in good
said
faith.
something that I
I didn't
didn't.
come on here. What did I say that you said? I didn't say that
Oh
you
my God.
brought me
Y'all
on
see,
here.
does
I
this
didn't
not
say
sound
that
like one of those
I
arrest
said,
videos where they
why are we
constantly ask
still
the
talking
person,
about
what
this?
did I do?
What,
Doesn't this
listen,
sound like one of those arrest videos where the black woman constantly asks the cop, what did I
Man, I don't know how much more I can go with the going back and forth. Like how does this end? I'm gonna just skip to the end.
when we first got on here, because you asked me about that, is that I value my time.
that
Sure,
listens to the point of where I can
sure.
repeat your words back to you?
I have a right to say what I do with my time. I asked you, do you
I
want to
never
talk
told you.
about
I said for you
hair
to
the whole
leave.
time?
This right here by Junior Coltrane. Carmen, just apologize and say that you overreacted about the hair. That's all it takes, but she's not going to do it because in typical female fashion, this isn't even a black woman thing. This is just a woman thing. In typical female fashion, they will not admit when they are wrong. They just won't do it.
If you're going, I didn't
Like
say, what are you
cordial
doing to not make
black
us move on?
people.
That ain't what I asked. Ma'am, that is not what I asked. There goes
Okay,
another
that's fine.
example of you
There
don't
goes
listen to
another
what we said.
example.
Spoke about it.
You said
I
no. You
spoke
asked me
about
if that was. You asked me if that was child abuse. Is what you asked me,
it. No,
and I
hold
gave
on.
you my
I
response to
said,
that.
hold
What
on.
do you
I
mean?
said that the one question I asked you, and that was just of him being a boy dressing as a girl. Is this child abuse? I didn't say anything about his hair. I said the whole
What?
idea of this is a boy that's being turned into a girl
Right. So
and
you
is
can
a
understand.
child.
You can understand why I would think that this is related to the
Now
same
she trying to
topic,
switch
right?
it.
Because you were talking about
Even
hair
if you
prior
think
to
it
this.
is, your question, your answer, it wasn't confrontational, and I moved on when you answered it. Yes or no?
Okay.
When
So
you
okay,
answered
but
that
why?
part,
My point is, Tommy, why are we not able to move on? Why are you still trying to harp on this same topic?
I'll ask. If your audience says, what did he mean by that? I'll ask it of myself. Because that's what we're supposed to be here to do. When I'm interviewing, these people want to know more about you. Things that they don't get when we're just doing a 15-minute segment or we're just talking about someone else. People think that when you talk about someone else enough, they want to know where you come from. So I'm pretty good at the interview. Most people enjoy it. Now, not everybody does. But I don't try to offend people. I am like Barbara Walters. Some might get up and walk out of the interview simply because Barbara says, well, wait a minute. I heard you say this, and I want to dig deeper in that. That's all I'm doing. So if
I'm
to
very
ask,
clear.
so if I'm to ask the next question, I'm going to go to single parenting. Can I discuss single parenting? Because you
This
don't
is
have
your show,
children.
Tommy.
Well,
You can. This is your show.
because you don't have children, and I don't want to offend you. You don't have to tell me it's my show. I didn't get offended by you. You got offended by me.
I didn't get offended at
You
all,
ask me
actually.
anything, and I'm not going to
very
get.
comfortable. I didn't get offended. I actually got bored of talking
So
about wigs.
I just
I
asked you a
didn't get
simple
offended.
question. You could have
I'm
said
just
yes or no.
bored of talking about wigs.
So I asked you a
Okay.
simple question. You could have said yes or no. You still can't do
You
it.
can talk about whatever.
I was very nice when I
told you
asked
it's
that
your
question.
show.
Was I
We
not,
can talk
ladies and
about whatever
gentlemen?
you want.
I was very nice when I asked that question. We can't talk
You
about
listen,
whatever I
and I
fucking
told
want.
you we
Because
can
if I
talk
turn back
about
around
whatever
and
you
talk about my
want.
hair, you would have got mad. I can't talk about whatever I want, because if I'd have turned right back around and started talking about hair, you would have said it was going too long.
Okay, but we
Facts.
understand, because we're both two
That's
intellectuals,
strange.
that we've moved on from hair. We understand we've moved on for hair. I said we could talk about whatever it is that you want, but you're doing this thing
All I did was
where
I said
you're
the next thing y'all,
okay,
if
Tommy,
this
it's
ain't
nothing to move
respectful,
on.
I
You're
don't
being
know what she's
confrontational.
talking about. I said the
Okay.
next thing I would like to talk about was single parenting. Would you be okay with me discussing this? Was all I asked.
And I said it's your show. We could talk about whatever you want. And then you
But you
took that and
can't.
said,
This
"Well,
is
you didn't want to talk
insane.
about
That's how you
hair."
answer. This is how you answer. Cool. You know what? You said your time is important. I realize mine is important. It's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. Here's what I want to talk about. I appreciate you coming by. I thank you so much. I thank y'all audience. I'm going to go because I don't want to argue with somebody for this damn long. And it's apparently they're not going to stop because they're bothered, and I get it. I'm good. Thank you for coming through. Thank all y'all for coming. I'm going to go eat dinner with a black woman that ain't going to sit and argue with me all month.
Listen, man. I'm gonna stop it right there. This was crazy. This was absolutely crazy. This just proves to you, man. Again, the American black women, not all of them, of course, but a lot of them, they'll put on a good mask for you. They'll put on a good mask. Shout out to the good black women out there that are not like this. That are not grifters, and they don't just try to say things that they think men want to hear, because we know that y'all are out there. But this, man, Carmen. This was a tough listen. Guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button.